Hey everyone, we're live for another edition of Sunday Night Geekery, and I've got the great Dadman here. And let me turn off this overlay so that everyone can see us. Yep. And I've got my pigs in space background camera going tonight. So
now that's great. That is great. I don't know that I qualify as great, but that's a great Miss Piggy right in center.
Pigs in space.
Oh yeah.
So hail to J-Man. I don't know if J-Man's still hanging out with us. He says he's got a very early day tomorrow, so he might have left. But I made a joke. I said hopefully it won't put you to sleep, but hopefully it won't be that boring, J-Man. But if you need to, we'll say, right? Hopefully the show's not that boring where you listen to it and put you to sleep.
We will try to make it exciting so you don't go to sleep.
Well, we could always talk about some boring stuff right now. Just kidding.
Yes. Would you like to know about Gatsby 84, Gatsby 87, fiduciaries, and leases accounting?
Or Fortran programming?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that would be it could have a 24-hour torture stream like that. And all you have to do, what's so scary is all you have to do is read the technical manuals.
That's it?
You just read it. You put people to sleep by reading that stuff.
That's all you have to do, yeah.
Yeah, well, they said like with this, the term filibuster, in the U.S. Senate, as long as they talk, that's all that required, You could read a phone book. You could read whatever, just as long as you kept talking, so.
Sounds good, yep. And hail to the great Hungry Boy, that great Arcanist, and hungry for a Japanese Micronauts movie. Very cool, yep. Yeah, so the rumor is that actually, I don't want to say the wrong company. I think it's Hasbro. I'm trying to remember now who owns the Micronauts. So it's let me see here. Who owns them? I'm not supposed to Google during the show, and Raquel is kind of right about that. But let's check who owns the Micronauts.
Well, every once in a while you have to. Just try to avoid it, but hey.
Yeah, boring stuff equals Micronaut. Marvel Phase 4, yeah. So we'll see what we get, but we got the God of Thunder coming out. They had the toys are out, so you had a picture of Gore, the God Killer. Now I maybe I'm in the minority, but I did like that series with the Aaron. Was it Aaron Priestley? What was the that run? It was let's see, was it Aaron Priestley, or what was his name? The writer on that. Remember, but anyway, they were the one big problem. They called Jane Porter gets the power of Thor, which is one thing. Jason Aaron was the writer, and they shouldn't have called her Thor. They should have had another name. And of course, it became a big deal. And but the story was well written though, because Thor, if they that God Killer part where Thor has been he is found to be not worthy anymore. Nick Fury whispers something into his ear, and he just loses his worthiness to be Thor, which is kind of an interesting storyline, because you always should bring I shouldn't say bring the hero down, but that hero's journey where the hero hits a low and then comes back in the end, like Rocky, right? Rocky hits the low, and then you got to hit that low to hit the high. But I know it was a controversial run, I think, but basically because they were calling Jane Porter Thor. But she's battling cancer during the whole thing, which I found was a lot of us have been touched by that in our families, unfortunately. So I was
Mm-hmm.
sympathetic to that, and certain things weren't bad. It just they just calling her Thor. Maybe they come up with another another name. Like they had Thunderstrike. Actually, was a new character that they came out with. I just did a review of the action figure, and that was a new character who had the powers of Thor, and then you still had Thor at the same time.
Yeah, it's always amazed me how many variants there are and how deep that goes. Because I look at my oldest daughter. She's reminding me that there's all these lines, there's all these other comics, there's all this thing of these characters. I've just watched a movie here or there, and I'm thinking, how does she get all these powers? Well, it sounds like if you could think of it, they tried it.
Yeah.
Of course, I never saw that actress carrying Mjolnir though. But hey,
Yeah.
yeah, it's.
But this is what got people angry. Like they had this. Let me flip my screen over so I can share it here. Let me bring this article over. So it was revealed on The View back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd read the comics. I thought the comics are pretty decent. But let me share the screen here, and so these kind of things are kind of get the fans going, like where they say Thor will be launched in the comics with a woman as a title hero. So instead of saying and they never got rid of Thor too. They never got rid of Odin's son. So instead of saying, well, we're going to have Jane Porter. Well, it was a mystery of who was going to be the new quote unquote Thor, female Thor. Um, so that was a big mystery in the comics who it would be. I guess you could figure it out. But they're saying it'll be separate from the man who had been Thor. Whoever proves where to hold Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. So this is not She Thor. This is not Lady Thor. This is not Thorita. This is Thor. This is Thor of the Marvel Universe. So, that's where people get. I can see it. I'm a longtime Thor fan. I was reading Thor, as a kid, and he was, I wouldn't call him to me, he was always an amazing character, a quote unquote a B level villain, kind of like, or hero, sorry, kind of like an Iron Man. Yep. Yeah, Thunderstrike sounds like an older brother for Starscream Transformer. Yeah, that was a good series of Thunderstrike. That was he was an architect, common man. It was kind of getting back to the Don Blake. I love that duality in Thor. So was Eric Masterson, and I think he dies, and then Thor helps. They use he gets killed in a power by a powerful there's a powerful entity that's fighting Thor villain, and he dies, and somehow he ends up in Valhalla, and they bring him back to life, and he gets the powers of Thor. I'm probably butchering it, but basically that's his origin. And then he dies. Spoiler alert: he dies in issue 25 of his own series. So yeah, he was injured, and then it was quicksand. Yeah. And he was saved by Thor. So he, it was just in his son, and they got involved with all these adventures with Thor. So, but they never called him, well, actually for a while he was the new Thor, in the title. But then they had him as Thunderstrike, but it was controversial back then, but it, wasn't like it was today when, the politics, get involved in it. So,
Well, I kind of wonder with an article like this if the whole point is they're distracting in a way. They're trying to generate interest or generate a buzz to get the conversation going, knowing that they can get some people upset or worked up. Then there goes more discussion, and then more discussion to hype the product ahead of time.
Yeah. And it was on The View, and they're like, "There's going to be a female." It's like, well, it's
well, and what better show to seriously
so
if that's what your angle was for to reveal it on. So
yep. And then they had Mjolnir, and I ended up liking the series. So I'm not saying I didn't, and maybe one of the few people that would say that
right. So
they
help me
liked it.
help a newbie like me understand it. So was there a female Thor at some point, or a female Thor equivalent?
Well, there was an issue of What If.
Making Thor female?
Well, there's an issue of what if, years and years ago, Jane Porter gets the power of Thor. So let's see if I do what if Jane Porter show the famous cover, and I think this issue has gone up in value. Let's see, Thor. Jane Foster. That would help if I typed her name right. Keyboard
Foster, yeah,
clunker. Yeah. Foster, yeah. Here's the famous, famous cover here. So, oh hey Dave, how's it going? Sorry, I had the other screen on. So, thanks for stopping by. Yep, we're doing good here. Yep. So, yeah. So this is a cool, classic cover. What if I'm number 10? So, fun. It's a fun idea. That Jane Porter. Jane Porter. I guess stop saying Jane
Foster.
Jane Foster found the hammer of Thor. Because the initial origin of Thor, what's really cool about it, he's Don Blake. So you find out years later that Don Blake is actually Thor. But Don Blake finds... let's just go to origin of Thor here. Let's do that. Let's see if they show some pictures here. The original origin here. Yeah, here we go. Here's the first panel. So Don Blake is he's crippled or handicapped, and he let's see if I zoom in on this to see it better. So there's some aliens after him, and he sees those big aliens out there, and he's trying to move this rock to escape. He's trying to escape them. So even a bulldozer can't move that rock, right? So he found this cane in a cave, right? So in helpless anger, Don Blake strikes the useless cane against an immovable boulder, and he does so. Crash! Like what? The cave is bathed in blinding light, like a fiery bolt of lightning. The ancient cane, it's changing shape, and I'm changing too. Can this be really happening? We're going mad. No, it isn't mad. I can feel my body bursting with power such as I've never known. The cane, it has become a mighty hammer. I've been transformed into, wait, there are words inscribed on the hammer. Whoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. Not well with a supernatural offer, limit 1 millimeter per customer.
Oh my
reserves the right to rescind godly power at any time. Void were prohibited. Offer expires at Ragnarok. Now that's obviously was added after.
A little bit of humor.
Yeah. So the cool thing about the cool thing about Thor was he had this alter identity as Don Blake. So, but he's Blake, right? So he's really like you and me, right? He's a regular Joe who's got but he's got disability, and he strikes the cane, and he becomes Thor. So we got the real Thor showing up here.
Is it? I guess in his origin, then is he like? I hate to say Superman, but how Superman was Clark Kent, then became it was the Thor actually had like a secret identity.
Yeah, so he had a secret identity as Don Blake, and we've got the great Maddie's daddy here.
Hey,
the real Mitchell. Thor has visited us and wearing Shazam.
Hey,
greetings, y'all. How are you doing? Good. How are you?
Good. Where's your hammer?
Hang on a minute. Hang on.
Wait, yeah, it's coming. It'll be in a few minutes. Yeah.
This, I think Mark may know this, but Dad Man, this morning or this week, rather, Maddie saw the Thor: The Dark World poster. I was carrying her, and she said, "Daddy."
Wow,
that's awesome! Yeah,
that's awesome.
They got a lot to live up to now.
That's pretty well. I started going to the gym again, so I'm going to get the body back I used to have.
There we go. Yeah, so she's going to go to the movie theaters and say, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy." Yeah.
Well, I don't think she's going to be seeing any Thor movies. I mean, we're still watching the Wheels on the Bus. So
yeah,
there you go.
Maybe the Thor cartoon, right? Let's see what she says. Yep.
I don't know if they still had the Wiggles around, but my kids were around for the Wiggles, the dancing, singing color. You know.
The Australian, it was an
Yes.
Australian show,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, at least mine didn't get into the Teletubbies, so I was grateful for
We're not
that.
going to sing mashed potatoes.
Oh,
Fruit salad,
yeah.
fruit salad.
fruit salad. Oh
Fruit
gosh,
salad. Yummy.
we have
yummy
really. Hey,
fruit
listen, we really have gone geekery
Hey.
tonight when we talk about kids shows like that. So,
salad. Yeah.
and
We
Mark
had-
knows the words to the songs.
Fruit salad. Yummy. Yep. Oh, that was it. And hey, Matthew Pounder. Yeah, hopefully it won't scare you away by singing Wiggles tunes. But my kids were the age. Oh, Steve, I have plenty of Wiggles music for you if you'd like them. Any Wiggles albums?
I think I'm probably okay, but thank
You
you
sure?
very much for.
I'd love to pass
They
those
stick
along.
with you. You will never forget them.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So she likes so when we're driving, generally she'd be listening to things like, Twinkle Twinkle and whatever. But as you know, she's really into cars. Real cars, toy cars, the movie Cars.
Nice.
And when in the scene in Cars when Lightning McQueen is being driven cross country and they're playing Life is a Highway, and she was dancing to that song. So we get in the car and I put on Life is a Highway. Yeah. So I
That's
think we
cool.
can skip. I think we can skip the Wiggles, whatever that is. So
Well, wait till she hears I can't drive 55 then.
yep.
Well,
Yep.
The funny thing was, I used to have a lot of jazz music. Well, back in the day when you had the CD, right? So you'd burn CDs. So I had like jazz CD. So whenever Louis Armstrong was on, my daughter would say, "Play Scratchy Man, play Scratchy Man," because that was the scratchy voice, the classic
And I
Louis
think to
Armstrong.
myself, what a wonderful world. Oh,
I can't
hungry
believe-
boy. Hungry.
I can't believe we've got the chat now on the Wiggles.
Fruit salad. I guess I can't play anything. I'll get struck, obviously, but hopefully my singing's not that good. We'll be in any danger of a copyright strike. Yeah.
Well, what's funny is I guess they've taken on different iterations of it, like Green Lantern and Hal Jordan or this guy or that guy and the things. Because the ones that my kids grew up, the originals, I think most of them have been replaced by now, and they transitioned to new character actors for them. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, I think some of the Wiggles. Yeah, they added a couple some new Wiggles now, and they swapped out some. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Skip.
If I could just take a moment to say hail to Matthew and Hungry Boy and Dave, all the people that I've missed here. Thank you for the liking the Shazam shirt. Hey, Courtney. Good to see
Hey,
you.
Courtney.
As always. Pat?
You actually recognize the Wiggles for my terrible singing, which is funny.
Pat
Yeah, we're
S. Yeah.
Pat S. Yep.
Well,
Yes,
I tell you,
talking.
I meant to
Skip
say last
mentioned-
night, though, Mark, last night when Raquel sang one part on the Saturday night show, like with a voice like that, it was like, you guys could do karaoke and you and Claudia could be her backup singers or something.
Oh, she's good. Raquel grew up in a band, she said.
Oh,
So
yeah,
she's got
I know.
a great voice.
Great voice. And Steve
And
Mitchell
Courtney's a
can sing too
musician
with
in
you
the
guys.
chat. Yep. And Thor can sing too, of course, right?
Absolutely.
Thor meaning me?
Oh,
Can't Thor sing?
No, I don't think I can sing.
No, Thor can't sing.
It's all worth that. It's all the try. Give it the try. I threatened to super chat Clobby to sing last night, so it's like sometimes you try.
I actually had my Dadman T-shirt on, but I gave Monkey Jeebus, but I gave Maddie her bath, and she splashed me head to toe, so I had to change into something dry. So, bye, Courtney.
Yeah, hopefully we'll catch you later, Courtney. Yep.
Yeah.
And Captain Marty Spock is here. Oh, awesome.
Hey,
Hello.
Captain Marty Spock.
We will not talk about time travel tonight. Oh,
Dad,
and
man,
that way we can avoid the Picard TV show.
Oh, yeah.
I call it discard. Dadman mentioned that the what are they called again? The Japanese, you can tell tired of them. That Australian group. What was it called again? The what?
The Wiggles.
The Wiggles.
Yep.
You said they were replaced by new.
Well, they
actors.
changed out some of the
changed
actors.
actors.
Some of the
the
guys
original
quit, I
Yellow
think.
Wiggle, he had health issues, So he was replaced many, many years ago.
Okay.
So, and then I think over time, as they got older, they replaced them with newer, actors.
I think there's one original guy left or two.
I
maybe?
think Jeff might be the only
Jeff
one.
is left. Yeah.
The purple one, I think.
I hope the new guys don't. Mark knows. You might know this too. That John Davey is. We're friends. We're not close friends, but he knows my name and he knows Maddie, and we chat behind the scenes. He was the second guy to play Captain Marvel on the Shazam TV show.
Yeah.
And he, to this day, he still gets some hate for
because he replaced
but
Captain Marvel. Yeah.
But the first guy was Jackson Bostwick, but he was already fired. It's not like John came along.
He didn't take the job. Yeah.
No, as a matter of fact, they called him, and he was at home like making breakfast or something, and they said, "Oh, we got this thing called Shazam, and we need you to play Captain Marvel if you're interested." And he said, "Well, can I think about it?" And they said, "We can't think long. We need you on the set in 90 minutes."
Yeah.
So he asked his son, who was a boy at the time, "You heard of this show Shazam?" The kid was like, "Oh yeah, I love it." And he goes, "Well, they want me to play Captain Marvel." And his kid was like, "You got to do it, Dad. You got to do it."
Right.
Maddie likes the part where he says Shazam and turns into Captain Marvel, and everything else just start walking around and picking up things off the floor to eat them or whatever. But John told me that his granddaughter, when she was young, he once said to her, "Hey, do you want to see what Grandpa did when he was young?" And so he put in the Shazam.
Very cool.
He put in the Shazam. Well, not really. He put in the Shazam DVD, and she watched it for about 5 minutes and said, "Can I go climb trees?" So,
right.
I hope the new Wiggles guys don't have to face that kind of,
No,
hey, the original guy was taller or whatever.
Well, they have to deal with it with people like me that go so far back, that don't like change. The kids, they do like change. So,
well,
hey, Dave.
Hey, David, and hail to Monkey G-Biz, too. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. And yep, so Dave has recognized that voice. Yep.
Absolutely.
So,
we helped Dave earlier find out his I don't know what they call it with Fortnite. With the gunfire, the footsteps. That.
It's actually a disability feature.
Yeah.
You can see the footsteps of characters, so it's to help.
And where the gunfire.
But everyone turns
from.
it on because it shows you where there's someone.
Where the gunfire. Hey, that's the half of my battle being a meat shield is where's the shooting coming from.
Yeah,
so I gotta have that indicator.
I'm going to call up that first issue of Thor since we got Thor with us.
Absolutely. This is interesting learning about that, with that origin, because I never knew that.
And they misspelled Thor with 2 R's on the hammer.
Oh.
In the final panel.
Oh, this must be redone then.
That's corrected. Yeah, it's corrected.
Yeah.
It has two R's.
Let me go check my original issue. Just kidding. Yeah, just kidding.
Steve, what got me was the legal disclaimer at the bottom of it.
Yeah, that's a funny joke.
Oh,
there.
not valid. Oh, I didn't see. I need to maximize this window over here. I was trying to keep the chat open, but I don't. I don't need to. Yeah, this is the receipt. The disclaimer is funny. Where's Cloppy tonight?
He's on with Doomcock right now.
Oh, okay.
So if he doesn't go too late, he'll be over later.
Dad, man, you were talking about karaoke. Who you really need anytime you do karaoke is Arwen.
She's a great voice. Yeah.
That lady can sing. She's good.
Great voice. Yeah.
I mean, God was good to her, man. She's beautiful. She can sing. She's the whole package.
Yep.
Oh, she's fun. Yep.
Some are blessed with voices. I was floored by Raquel's last night. Mark's not bad himself. I don't know.
Oh, I'm horrible.
I definitely don't like hearing myself.
Mark has a good voice for radio. You have that kind of deep, sort of soothing. You could do smooth jazz.
All right.
It's
Mark's that late night voice that and
he's like
that you would go to sleep to because it's so pleasant, so calming, so even.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I would never think when you hear your voice, you don't like your voice. So
I know it's a compliment, but it's like it sounds so, but it's like it's so smooth. You could be relaxing and put people to sleep.
It's all that honey tea that I drink all the time, maybe.
Yeah.
So,
Uh,
so thank you for that. Yeah.
it's a
But
good
yeah,
thing.
so but the reason we were joking about the Wiggles, everyone, because I offered to give Steve Mitchum, who's got a very young Maddie, any of my CDs. I'd be glad to either give them to or loan them to you. That's just a running joke on all my friends when we had kids, because God bless the Wiggles. I mean, hey, they were popular for a reason, right? The songs were.
Yep.
You didn't forget those songs when you heard them, and they
No,
love watching the show. Like for 2 to 5 year olds, that was God, that was a great show. So
it was. I got addicted to it for a
Yeah.
while. So
Was this after Teletubbies?
I think
yes,
it was
I
after
think that they came
Teletubbies.
out
Yeah,
somewhat after but see, I think the Teletubbies still ran even while they were out. So I think they both played, but I think initially they were later when the Teletubbies came out. So
yeah. But there was a running joke among our friends. So if we to get someone back, we'd like, I'll raise you a Wiggles fruit salad. We'd send it like a text, like a video or something, with the song going, and you could, when you something you like Rick rolling someone, you could never get it out of their head. Yep.
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
Let's not forget Barney.
Yeah.
I love you, you love me.
Yep. I still have
Uh,
my Barney. The Microsoft. I got to dig that out of the basement. It was actually Talking Barney. It was Microsoft Playmates, or what was the name of the line? It was actually a line of computerized toys. So they had Barney and Arthur and a bunch of other characters. And they were like little mini robots. And you could hook it up to the computer. Back then, it was with a serial port, and it had like this whole interactive system. And Barney would talk, and it was pretty well done, but it was kind of scary. It's like Barney with what the heck was that? Microsoft's. It was a whole line of Actimates. Actimates, yeah. So here's the Barney Actimates, yep. So here's the.
oh wow.
So here I got the. I'll just pause. So this was the. So you had this toy, and you could hook it up to the computer. I have this in the basement. You could squeeze his hand, and of course, I'm not playing the one to get. Even though it's an ancient commercial, and you could hook it up to the TV, and it was interactive with the TV. So it's pretty high tech for the time. So it would.
Did you say that
And
you
you had
have
a
that in your
CD.
basement?
Oh, I've got this. Yeah, I've got this.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
I got this and Arthur and a bunch of other ones. Yep.
That's a good collection item.
Matthew, I hate you. You hate me.
Well, a little bit of theme park geekery with all this. Universal Studios in Orlando actually had for many years an area for Barney, like a kids interactive play area, but also had a little floor show with Barney there with some of the songs, and stuff.
Oh,
like
they did.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was a standard feature there for quite a long time. And talking about the Wiggles, there was a time probably about 15, 20 years ago. No, not 20. I figure my oldest is 22, but probably about 15 years ago or so. There were a couple summers when they had kids TV show groups coming through doing concerts at Hollywood Studios. And one of the weeks was going to be the Wiggles, but we weren't able to make it. So we did make the week that they had the oh gosh, they're from Canada. I'll have to look up the name, but it's another group out of Canada, and they were dressed up kind of like clown makeup and stuff like that. So, but it was actually an interesting time for theme parks. I mean, back then that they interacted, and they were Disney shows, but it was like a Disney promotional thing in a way, because they were the shows that were run on their Disney Channel.
Oh, the Disney Channel. Yep. Oh, I do, and I do have some cool Teletubbies toys too. When the kids were young, and you push their chest, and it did all these lights that would light up, and they would talk. And
Yeah, you had them for the kids, right?
I had them for the kids. Yep. Well, no, actually, what I have is all these cool. Here, I'll turn my camera on.
I remember they were the Doodle Bops.
Oh, the Doodle
The
Bob.
Doodle Bops. Were the Doodle Bops? Yeah. No, they had their
They
own
were scary.
stuff. That was the scarier one. Dee Dee. Anyway.
Yeah. Let me switch cameras here, but
So when
here I
I
had.
came, there you are.
So this whole line of It was Spider-Man and Friends, and this whole Marvel line of action figures. And I kept buying them for the kids specifically.
Yep.
So this is Ben Grimm, astronaut. I think what was this line called? Toy line. It's on his foot here. But it was like Spider-Man and Friends. It was a great toy line. It was fantastic for the kids.
That looks nice.
But I love this this thing here. Is here? Let me make my self solo here. Here we go. There's a good look at Ben there. So that was a fun fun toy. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's,
How-
well,
how
my
great.
first exposure to Spider-Man was actually on the Electric Company.
Oh, that's
You're-
right.
oh,
Yeah.
Wow, you're a kid.
Yeah.
You're just a kid. So Spidey, Spidey. Yeah.
Spidey.
Back
It
when I can't think of his name. Not Samuel L. Jackson. Morgan Freeman was on it.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, it was his big break.
Yep.
Hungry. I'm gonna call him just Hungry Boy. How can a carnivorous theropod have a voice like Barney Fife after a head injury? Don't teach kids that.
Right. That's hysterical.
So Mark,
Nobody can turn a phrase like Hungry Boy.
Yeah.
Mark, that picture we're looking at, is that the bridge of the Enterprise with Miss Piggy at the command?
This is actually the down goes Ben.
Ingram fell over.
This is actually Pigs in Space. I think it's actually called Swine Trek.
Swine Trek. Yep.
Yep. Okay.
This is the ship. So it's the USS Swine Trek. So
Okay.
it's from the good old Pigs in Space. So this is the bridge of the Swine Trek right here. So here we go. Here's the toy. So and Clobby, when he did that drawing last night, of course it was Troy on Saturday Night Star Trek. So I couldn't resist. I couldn't find I don't have any Troy action figures handy, unfortunately. But this is a great toy. So that's the
That is
actual,
awesome.
if you remember, everyone remembers the Muppets if they're cool. So that was the Swine Trek. There's the box. So that came with Miss Piggy. I got to buy the other guys. So I got to buy what's his name?
Link.
I'm trying to remember.
Link Heartthrob.
Link Heartthrob. Thank you. Yep.
Yeah.
And then the scientist dude. I got to buy him. I don't have.
Oh, Dr. Bunsen Honeydew from Muppet Labs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Beaker.
And Beaker. Yep.
Yep.
So what's fun is you can change the background here too. So I'm gonna go away from the mic, but I'll show you all the background.
Okay.
Well, let's see. You got Star Trek going on here. Muppets.
There you go.
Beep, 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 beep.
Beep, beep, beep.
Oh, Gonzo. The
Gonzo.
great Gonzo, yeah. I'm not sure what that's from.
These are just random, and I don't know random Muppets. I guess maybe
Yeah.
these guys wanted to show at one point.
Yeah.
And just we have a star field.
And those all go back in that
Yeah, so I can
view
change it.
screen
So
back
that's
there, yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
doctor.
Yeah.
Is it Dr. Swine? I can't remember his name now.
I don't remember. I could go watch it. I bought the first 3 seasons for Maddie.
So should I put Beaker? How about I put Beaker back here?
That works. Although Kirk and Spock look a little buffed up there.
Kirk actually looks a little bit more like Andy. What was his name? Andy Kaufman to me there. Is that supposed to be Scotty all the way on the left?
Yep, that's Scotty. Yep, those are the Migos. Yep.
It looks like
So
they.
that's
It looks like they recycled Big Jim. Anybody remember Big Jim?
oh yeah, remember Big Jim? Yep.
The Muscle Man.
Yeah. Good Spider-Man in the act there too.
Yeah, he's dancing a little for everybody. He's
Set
doing a little
phasers,
wiggle.
set phasers to oink.
Oh.
Yeah. Pigs in space. Oh, that was just so fun. So fun on the show. That was just so.
Last
That was just
time
so
when
good
we,
when they did that.
we last time the crew of the Swine Trek was
Yeah.
it's good stuff. And they also had Veterinarian's Hospital. The continuing story of a doctor who's gone to the dogs or something.
Yeah.
I bought the first 3 seasons thinking that I would get the one with Mark Hamill on it, but I did not. So I've got to buy.
It wasn't on that one. Yep.
And most of the people I've never heard of on the first 3 seasons actually, with the exception of Elton John. Elton John is the only good. They did Crocodile Rock, and they had, of course,
Oh, that was great. Yeah.
Oh, I take
That
it
was so
back.
good.
I take it back. Alice Cooper was good too.
Yeah, Alice Cooper was great. Yeah.
Alice, I hate to tell you, but these are not our monsters. No, they're mine.
Dr. Julius Strangepork. Sorry.
Strange Pork. That's the one.
Yeah. Captain Link Carpenter, it's first mate Piggy. Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Julius Strangepork. Yep. So this toy is really well done, though. I have to say, it's a pretty cool toy. So yeah, so it's on. I guess. These are Muppet Show season 2. I guess. The showing. Yep. Yeah, Muppet Show was just so awesome. I just love that. Love that show. Yeah.
It's too bad they can't do something like that today. You know, everything's either condescending or selling something, or dark. You know, it's gonna be dark.
Oh, that Darth Nader on. Look at that.
Darth Nader. Wow.
Gonzo as Darth Vader.
That's nice.
Well, you know, to your point, Steve. Though you're right. With all, you know, not just this show, the Muppets, but look at how Saturday morning cartoons were back in the 70s. I mean, they were not just dumbed down. They dealt with some serious topics, but they were the grammar, the diction, the wording. I mean, it was very sophisticated. You know, nowadays it a lot of times gets down to slapstick humor, and I love slapstick, but the thing was back then it challenged the kids to read, to do more, and you know, in a lot of cases the cartoons, you know, the adults could enjoy them too.
You know, as much shade as I throw at Stanley, deservedly so, he didn't dumb down his. You know, he said famously, "So if a kid has to go look up a word, is that so bad?"
Yeah, right.
You know, and now we have the dictionary changing words, the definition of words, because people misuse them so commonly. You know, like people say literally when they don't mean literally.
Mm-hmm.
And so now the dictionary definition has included figuratively, which is literally the exact opposite. That was unneeded as well, but anyway. But I digress. So, so the Alice Cooper.
This is wild though. Here they had the Pigs in Space live sketch. The suit awakens. The crew faces the consequences, making too many references to famous science fiction movies. Guest starring Bobby Moynihan as an alien copyright lawyer. And they actually had Swine Trek invaded by the Doctor. Wow. Friday performance titles the sketch Stolen Mirth, and guest stars David Tennant. Saturday had Peter Davidson. That's awesome. I never knew that. It was Peter Davidson.
I never knew there was a Marvel magazine of Alice Cooper. I knew there was one of Kiss that was printed with their own blood, they said.
Yeah, they sprinkled it in.
I used to have it, but I don't know what happened to it.
Mark, was that a stage show?
I wonder. It must have been a stage
Doctor
show.
Who invading.
Well, it must have been. They must have done it. It's Muppets take the O2. I'm not sure what this is. Live stage show at O2 Arena in London, England.
Oh wow!
Oh, so that makes sense. So they would do that. Do that as a joke and have David some Doctor Who people there. Right? Kylie Minogue, who was on Doctor Who as well. David Tennant, Peter Davidson. Wow, that's amazing. Hysterical.
I remember now the Luke
that.
Skywalker one from that.
Yeah, that's what I showed before. Yeah, this Luke Skywalker one. That was when Luke was on. That was a huge deal. When was that? When was that on?
Season 4, I think.
1980. Wow. Yeah. So I'm a 12-year-old kid then, but that was a big deal when Mark Hamill came. So that must have been on before. When was Empire? Was Empire 80?
Empire was an 80. Yep.
So I wonder if this is around Empire.
That's his Empire Bespin.
Yeah. It must be Empire. Yeah. And you're the Star Wars expert. Yeah, so this is from Empire. Yep.
Thank you. Ooh,
Yep.
yep.
Good stuff.
I got to watch that episode again.
When I was one of my animation classes that I took, it's called Animation Mentor. It's online school. It's about a year and a half, I think, and taught by industry professionals. I had a teacher from Pixar, and one of the things that they talked about was the Muppets and how like Kermit and Piggy had no eyelids, no eyebrows, but they could still get so much acting and so much gesture, just from the body language. And so animators to this day still study the Muppets to learn how to act.
Interesting, huh? Just for basic animation technique, yep.
Well, for
And
a lot of
emotion.
what a
Not
lot
that I
of
should
people,
say, but like, yeah, emoting.
yeah, you should be able to sell when you animate something. You should be able to sell it without doing any facial animation. And most beginners do the opposite. They over animate everything in the face. And so it's a good way of learning how to if you've sold it without the facial animation, it works. And if you haven't, it doesn't, and no amount of facial animation is going to make it work. So yeah,
And for people who don't know, Steve Mitchum is an animator. So
oh yeah,
just so yeah, so you know your stuff. Yep.
Well, there's nothing I love more than animation. I mean, it was
Yep.
other than of course my little monkey. So
The animated monkey.
I got 2 kisses on the lips from my daughter today, so it's a good day.
Good day. Yep.
Awesome.
It's a very good day. Yeah. So.
And hail to Jeffrey. Thank you for joining us. And he was mentioning was that Slim Whitman? Yeah, was Slim Whitman ever on the Muppets? I don't know. Paul Williams was on it. He was great on the Muppet Show. Great composer.
Tim Curry is great.
Yeah.
Dave, have you seen? And also for you others, have you seen the Muppet Christmas Carol?
Yep. That's a classic. Yeah.
So good. Have you seen it, Dadman?
I don't think so, or I might have, but it's been a long time. I don't remember him in that specifically, but I know I love his acting from Home Alone 2. It's just hilarious.
No, I was talking
that movie.
That was Dave, I think, was talking about that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I switched gears on you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought we were still talking Tim Curry. So, but
no. Mike, I actually animated Tim Curry too. He voiced Sir Evil in a Christmas movie that I animated once. But Muppet Christmas Carol is Michael Caine.
Okay.
It's a lot of people say it's their favorite version of a Christmas Carol. I'll just give you my favorite line is my favorite line from the whole thing. Space Angel and Clutch Cargo. My favorite line is Michael Caine as Ebenezer Scrooge, and Kermit is Bob Cratchit. And it's in the beginning of the thing, and he says, "Bob Cratchit, let us deal with the evictions for tomorrow." And Kermit says, "But sir, tomorrow's Christmas." "Very well, you may gift wrap them." I'm not going to try and do a Michael Caine, but
yeah.
If you haven't seen it, it's a really good version.
Okay, I'll have to try that sometime because I just can't picture him as being Ed Scrooge.
Great.
Because what's stuck in my mind as Scrooge is George C. Scott.
Yeah, I love that. That's my favorite version.
And for me,
I mean, I love the Muppets too, but
for me, it's Alistair Sim. Who I think was the original. Like back in the 30s
I've seen clips of that. Yeah.
Really,
but for some reason, I always loved the George C. Scott version. Maybe I just caught it on TV and watched that. And actually,
I can't watch the George C. Scott version because I think of him as Patton.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
I keep waiting for Patton to jump out.
Yeah. Of course, that's one of my favorite all-time movies too. It's Patton, but there's Michael Caine.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess that George C. Scott, I must have saw it on TV. And actually, The Equalizer is one of the ghosts in that. Because I was looking it up as I was watching it. Like his voice is when he's a huge guy on the show, or obviously they make the ghost, the ghost. I think he's the ghost of Future. I can't remember. And
the big one is usually the voice of Christmas Present. And
that's what. He was Christmas Present. Yeah, he was Christmas Present. The Equalizer. Yeah. I'm forgetting his name. Ed. And Patrick Stewart was Patrick Stewart was good too. Yeah. Statler and Waldorf. Yep, always
Oh, I love it.
cracking. That was great. Yep.
Are you afraid of dying? Not after watching this show. They are actually so the Jacob Marley character is played. They split him into two, and is played by Statler and Waldorf. It's Jacob and Robert Marley. Robert Marley, obviously being
Okay.
Bob Marley. A little joke there for the adults, you know. But, yeah, and they have a singing musical number. So really, really good version. I highly recommend.
And the costumes are great. The
Muppet.
sets are great. Yeah.
Yeah, and they Gonzo actually plays Charles Darwin, so they basically can have him narrate it. And Rizzo the Rat is actually still. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
an illustration of it. Yeah.
Yeah. The chains. Yep. That's such a great tale. Great tale.
Yeah.
So scary.
Yeah.
There we go. Here's
Yeah. There. Yeah.
It's so cool, and that's one of my favorite things at Disney was, you know, they had the Muppet Theater in Disney World. I don't know if it was in Disneyland. I can't remember.
It was at Hollywood Studios in Orlando.
Yeah, so they had you know, that Muppet Show, and of course, you know, they're up in the balcony, you know, the two crotchety old dudes in the balcony going at it, and this is just
Statler and Waldorf.
Statler and Waldorf, and then it's a great show, and then like in the end, I think the like a car comes to the theater. You must have seen it, Dadman, and the whole theater explodes, and there's all these practical effects that are so great.
Well, what it does is the Swedish Chef is the camera operator. The little 3D thing gets out there and starts bouncing around the target. So the Swedish Chef pulls out a cannon and blows the whole screen out as they back the fire truck in.
Yeah, the fire truck comes in. Yeah.
Yep. And you got tourists in the background looking like, what's going on in there?
Yeah, the movie. Yeah, that's one of my favorite Disney. I don't know if you call it an attraction or whatever you'd call it, but that was
it's
fun.
An attraction. It's
I guess
it's a nice thing. It's also a good place in the Florida heat to get in for about 20 minutes, half an hour.
You cool yourself off. Yep.
Exactly. And you can sit.
Hungry. I'm gonna hungry. If it's okay, I'll still call you Hungry Boy, just so I don't have to try and keep up with the latest. But Hungry Boy said that Brian Blessed would have been a good Ghost of Christmas. Do you guys know who Brian Blessed is?
No.
He points out he was among other things, he was in Flash Gordon. He was it Voltan? What's the name? Hungry Boy will know. He's basically the king of the Hawk people. In the,
here you go, big huge guy. Yeah.
He was also in Much Ado About Nothing. The Sunday Night I Can Never Think. The version directed by the same guy that directed Thor. But really good actor, British guy, big guy.
Yep, he's big. Yeah.
So
yeah, he would make a good character in that.
Yep. He'd also be good at anything that had Muppets in it. He's had the best voice. When I came in though, you guys were talking about Thor.
Yeah. So we're just going to go through a couple of pages in this issue here. We're just starting to talk about. I don't know how it came up with how we got into the subject of Thor. Can't remember exactly. Rewind the tape. But we're talking about. I like the Jason Aaron run of Thor, but we're talking about how it was in the news. I guess Thor was trending today.
Yeah,
hey,
I think I was
asking.
I think I was asking Mark too about the origin of Thor, because I'd asked about how this concept of a female Thor came to be.
Yep. So this is the great first issue of Thor. So it's Journey into Mystery. He's not in his own book, and of course you've got these space aliens from. I think they believe in this. Did they say they're from Saturn in this one? I'm trying to. Do you remember, Steve? Are they from?
I believe they are the Stone Men from Saturn.
Saturn, right?
Yeah, Hungry Boy will correct us if we're wrong.
Yeah.
I thought the cover said something with Saturn in it too.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yep, Stone Men from Saturn. Right beneath the title.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm just I can't even see it. I'm like trying to remember when they're from. But and these are the great characters, obviously, in Thor Ragnarok, or well, I should say Thor. Hulk,
Hulk,
uh,
World War Hulk.
World War Hulk, and then they ruin the character. So they, in that comic, they make this guy as a joke character when he's really not a joke. It's just totally butchering the story.
Thank you,
So
Pop Culture Republic. Kenneth Branagh was the name that I was trying to think of, who directed Thor. There's also Much Ado About Nothing. And
oh, that's right. Yep.
if you like Shakespeare, I never liked Much Ado About Nothing until Kenneth Branagh's version. It makes it very accessible. So anyway, pray continue.
Yeah. So Don Blake, I guess he's hanging out. I guess I don't know why he's in Europe or what he's doing there. Let's see. Oh, he's vacation in Europe. Okay, so he's vacation, right? And the alien spaceship lands behind him, of course, and the evil aliens get out, from the planet Saturn, right? And they're gonna say, "Oh, we can conquer these people, no problem." They're so primitive, and this guy's going to sound the alarm, and then Blake sees them, and he's trying to get it. He's trying to get away, and he trips, and he's like, he's handicapped, so he can't get away without his cane. It's like, oh, I'll hide in these caves here. Maybe there's another exit. So he finds this wall opening. So he hits something. When he's sitting here, he presses a button. I'm going through this quickly. So he finds this cane in a secret chamber, and that was the panel we're reading. The page when he finally becomes Thor, and he gets the power of the Thunder God. So he hits the cane. So what was so cool about his character was he he's got that secret identity. He has no idea. Years later and many issues later, you find out that actually Odin has cast him to Earth as Don Blake as a punishment and puts him in the frail body of this mortal man. And whenever he's wants to change into Thor, he's got to hit the cane. But if he doesn't hold the hammer for 60 seconds, he'll revert back to Don Blake. So there's a lot of situations where he's falling from the sky or something's happening. So he's it's part of the character where he's always got to hold on to that hammer, get that hammer back, and or he's got to change into Thor. So there's a lot of cool instances. So he's you have no idea that he's actually Thor, and it's such a great twist. So he finds out he's got the power of Thor, but he doesn't think that he's Thor in the beginning. It's not till later that they find out. Yep, Dr. Don Blake. Thank you. Yep. So,
It's so funny because he looks like he's 15 in this.
yeah,
He looks really young when he turns into Thor.
and then the hammer seems to be a lot smaller back then too, but of course it's proportional, I guess. Yeah. So then I guess he hits when he taps the cane. What is it? Twice. I think he turns back to Blake too if he hits the hammer.
No. Once
or was it 3 times?
No,
once to Blake.
Once to change him either direction 3 times to bring a storm.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so once we turn into Blake, once again, or at any time he would turn into Thor, and 3 times. I'm glad they got rid of the 3 times because the obvious question is, he's tapping it 3 times. Why isn't he turning into Thor, Blake, and Thor again?
Thor, yeah, right, yeah.
It's like Captain Marvel Jr. who can't say his own name.
Yeah.
Or now Shazam who can't say.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that.
Yep. So and this is cool. He finds out about the powers of the hammer, and he's throwing the hammer and So here's by stamping the handle twice on the ground, I create rain or snow. So he's saying twice there. Of course, they probably changed it.
They changed it to 3. Yeah.
Changed it to 3. Yep.
Yeah.
So he's controlling. I don't know how he figured that out by hitting the handle twice, right? And then stamp the handle 3 times on the ground. But if I should stamp it once, it changes me back to Don Blake. So I don't know were there instructions there? Yep.
Yeah, and you notice how long the hammer handle is too.
Yeah.
In the beginning, and I guess somebody pointed out that in the mythology, Loki had done something. I forget exactly what that caused the handle to be short.
Yeah.
Somebody will probably tell us in the we don't have Phantom Outsider here because he's kind of all knowing, but um,
Well, I
on
think
the HP would know.
he interrupts the forging of the
The
hammer. If I'm
forging.
remembering, I think I read all the mythology as a kid over and over, but my memory. But yeah, so he then he hits the cane on the ground. So he's always carrying that cane with him, and then
Yeah,
he's fighting the Rockmen from Saturn. The mighty Thor strikes back. So in a moment, he'll be our helpless prisoner. Ah, he is ours. Right? So you know, so this is a fun first issue, and they're saying the Earthling is too powerful to be captured alive. He must be slain, prepared to disintegrate him. But before the ruthless invaders can fire our weapons, the Earthling cannot be stopped. Yes, he can. Set the mechano monster free. Be swift. It is done, sire. Now the enemy will surely meet his master. There is your foe. Attack him. Destroy him. That monstrosity looks like it has everything in its favor except a hammer of Thor. It doesn't say Milner there. And that was finally when the movies came out. It was like that's how we know how to pronounce it. But yeah, so of course Thor saves the Earth and back to the ships at once. We must flee this accursed planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has vanquished the Mechano monster. The human is too mighty, too skilled in the art of battle, and we know not how many more there are like him on Earth. So it's a great first issue. So
The superhero is a superhero. Yeah.
so then he just changes back to Dr. Don Blake, right? So changes back to that skinny gent isn't her secret weapon, right?
Yeah.
and
Now
there's
I've got to ask
the
about that last panel though, because I
yeah.
think Steve had mentioned it earlier. Is
Here we
that
go.
just a
See
typo?
right here, Thor. See, there's no Thor. The mighty, the greatest new superhero of all time will appear regularly in Journey into Mystery. Reserve next month's issue at your news dealer now. It's sure to be a sellout and worth a ton in future years. Yep.
In 30 years, 40 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys? I don't know if you were still there last night, Dad, man, but I heard on the radio on the drive to work on Friday that Captain America #1 sold for $3.1 million, and of course
Oh yeah.
the radio guy's like, really, because
I,
people don't understand.
Mark, are you familiar? I thought I read something
Yep.
about
Yep.
that.
I'll show that in the yep. Yeah, I think it was at Heritage Auctions.
Hmm.
Um, correct here. And so let's see. Let's go to Nerdist. Yep.
Wow.
So this is big news this week. Yep. So 3.12 million. So it's sold for less than $1 million.
Dang. Hey, Steve, I think Mark should have
Crazy.
outbid for that one.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But I wouldn't give to have that.
Oh.
I'm probably the only person in the world who my favorite character is Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
And because and I've said this before, I think on this show that one bullet could end him, but he still risks his life every day for people he doesn't know, and not because his Uncle Ben was murdered or his parents were murdered, or his dad, like Daredevil. You could go on, but just because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I love that. He doesn't have to have a dark motive. He doesn't have to be the Punisher or you know. So and it has nothing to do with the fact that he's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed artist named Steve.
Yeah. No relation, right? Yeah.
Nothing to do with that.
Well, it kind of made the whole a superhero was a superhero. There was an innocence to stuff back then. That's where I have a debate with my kids and stuff. Is that everything seems to have the backstory. Everything has to have a dark element, possibly now. I just like the beginnings, the humble beginnings when it wasn't. Not everybody has to have a tragic story. Not everybody came from that background. Like you point out the differences with several of these characters. Sometimes it's nice just to have something, well, what we probably our generation would consider normal, or standard, but it seems like the drive now, and maybe I don't, of course I'm no expert, but maybe when you keep trying to come up with new content with the same characters again and again, you do force yourself into variants of the superhero, multiverses, and all this other stuff, which I've told Mark multiple times, my brain can't go there. I'm very literal with things. I don't understand a multiverse over here with 3 different versions of, and my daughter has to explain to me how this one is not Peter Parker or not, things like that. And it's just like my brain just explodes with all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just like simple comics back when we grew up with this stuff. Maybe they laid the framework for that, some of the stuff back then, but it just seemed a lot simpler. Watching Saturday Morning Justice League, it was just simple cartoons. You had your superheroes, you had your villains, and that was it. Not some big grand scheme and all that. So
the art was for sale too. I'm looking that up now.
See, that art is what amazes me, though, Mark. That art back then that we grew up with, and the older issues, just the difference between the artwork back then to what they do now, it just amazes me. I like the detail on that older art.
No, it's beautiful, beautiful stuff. Yeah, I don't like the way Bucky looks there. I'll admit that. I never liked that picture of Bucky. But I'm trying to find Jack. I should have saved the link, but Jack Kirby, I think it was Captain America #1, was for sale. The cover, which I have, on that cover's behind me right now. So I'm trying to find
not an original.
Find it. No, but obviously, yeah. But I have it on. If I switch my camera, it's on. One of the cool. Obviously the reproduction stuff that's been used so much. Let me just search Jack Kirby. I should have saved it, but it was $300,000, I think. I don't know if
Jeffrey, I don't want to have anything to do with a dark Captain America. Nothing whatsoever. He should be who he is. It's like, you could have all the dark anti-heroes you want, but you have to have a couple of Superman and Captain Americas around, because otherwise there's no contrast. It's like a horror movie where they never give you a break from the stabbings. That's what somebody once asked Stephen King why his books were so much scarier than everybody else's, and he said they're not. He said, I just give you some comedy, and then I give you the same horror as everybody else gives you, but you weren't expecting it, so it feels scarier because you were relaxed. And the same kind of, I think, principle applies here. You got to have some texture in your universe. You can't have everybody be, Batman, the Punisher, the Vigilante, Wolverine, the dark anti-heroes. At least not for me. Of course, I grew up with the Shazam TV show, so
Yeah. I will forever be a '66 Batman fan.
Clubby is like that too. I can't watch it anymore. I think I need to give it another 10 years before I'll be able to watch it.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever change it. My thing is Superman from the old black and white series. Just
the you talking about the movie serial or the TV?
The TV series.
Yeah, it was black and white, and then went to color. Yeah, with George Reeves with that weird cape. That weird cape, with the this part on the back went way down his back, almost his belt. It's hard for me now because I look at him and you can see the lines from the girdle, and you can see the knee pads that they placed, in his biceps and trying. The guy was a good actor. Clobby would have me thrown off of a plane for saying this, but
I don't think that was. I don't remember if it was called if that had happened. I think I know Nomad had a drug problem at one point, if I believe correctly. I don't remember Cat. Yeah, Nomad didn't Nomad have a drug problem at one point? Some kind of addiction.
It must be in the one issue that I don't have.
But he was like a sidekick to Cap for a while. I'm just trying to remember,
No, Nomad
so
was
many-
Captain America.
But
Nomad
then
was
wasn't
the writer. The writer thought that Nixon being elected was the worst thing that ever happened, and so he said Captain America couldn't be Captain America anymore. He had to be Nomad, and he tripped over his own cape. He was no capes before the Incredibles.
But wasn't then wasn't another guy as Nomad too?
Later on, I think
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
I think I had stopped collecting them by then.
Yeah, so it was alternate identity for Steve Rogers, and I thought someone else played him. Yeah, so a bunch of Ricky Barnes played him. Okay, yeah. It's all swirling in your head there. Yeah, so yeah, Captain America 180, December 1980. Well, here, I'll just flip this over. Here's I'm trying to find that issue, that auction as you're talking.
Hungry, you could have said it better, man. Cap is about the heart, which is light. I 100% guarantee people trying to make Cap a bad character or a dark character, we can have people who are better. I have that issue. We can have characters who are better than we are. I mean, that's what being a hero is about. It's not about adamantium claws, or being a master of 30 forms of martial arts. It's about being who we would hope to be if we suddenly got powers. And let's face it, Dad, man, if you got bitten by a radioactive spider and could catch a bus, you're a good guy. You'd still be a good guy. But at the same time, you'd be like, Mark, I think my car needs to be washed. Can you get on that? Yes, I'll still save your family.
Yep.
Go wash my car.
Yeah. There you go.
So,
Oh.
that's my take.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking. This is what I was thinking of Jack Monroe, third and best known nomad. So he was. So when he abandons an identity, and then Monroe offers to let him become nomad, but Rogers declined to take a new identity. So that's who I was thinking of. Let's see. So did he have any secret powers? I think
Wait a minute. Kirby's animation flipbook fight scenes? How is it I don't know about this? I need to know more about Kirby's animation flipbook fight scenes.
That sounds pretty cool. I've never seen that.
Very cool. Yeah, I know he worked for, I believe, the Fleischer Studios for a while.
Yeah, so he did have some superpowers. Yeah. So yeah, just there's a lot of when you have a lot of comics in your head, you you forget sometimes. They all kind of merge together in a big mush, right? So yeah, Cap is the embodiment of the American dream. That's why he went back to being Cap there. Yeah, when he realized, this line, he realizes he should champion America's ideals. Yeah, that was an interesting twist though on the character, and then he became the captain for a while. And I got to find this art that was for sale. Actually, I did. I think I had sent it to Clobber Times as a link. So let me see if I go back to where I sent him that link and see what that. I wanted to find out what that sold for, because that's they had the some of the Kirby artwork from Captain America. So let's see where I scroll through. Sometimes when you found things and you're trying to find them again, like where did it go?
Yeah.
Let's see here, but yeah, that's just a gorgeous Kirby. Imagine the original Kirby art. It's just amazing.
This is a great Gil Kane cover.
Let's close this one up. Yeah, so here's.
I really have to apologize to Chris Evans. I thought he was going to suck as Captain America and not get the character, and he totally got it.
Oh yeah, no, he really got that character, and I just love the that one scene where the the grenade goes off, and he's the guy that
Yeah,
jumps on the grenade, and everyone else is uh, you know running for ducking for cover, right? Not him. Yep. So that was just such a cool scene, and also the classic uh, scene where he's got to get the flag, right? And he's obviously not a strong strong guy, but he's got that heart, and he just and the intelligence, and he pulls that pin out of the flagpole. The flagpole flops to the ground, and that's such a
yeah,
great scene in the movie theater when that happens, and you're just like, wow,
that was
just
a great scene. Yeah, it
that
really
just
was.
shows you how good it is, and and I could do this keep doing this all day. So
Yeah,
that's fantastic, fantastic stuff. Yeah.
I hate that in the last Avengers movie he starts saying things like um, calls somebody a son of a bitch, I think, and he says that is America's ass, and
Yeah, I didn't like that part.
he wouldn't change like that. It's like it's like your parents and your grandparents. They're not suddenly listening to the Spice Girls. They're like, no man, the Beatles or Hendrix. This was the people stick with that. They don't change it for the tastes of the times. So I hated when they did that. Hail Nerdporial.
Hey, Nerdporial,
Hey,
thanks for joining us. Yep, how's it going? So I'm trying to find what Kirby's art sold at auction for. I'm trying to find my link here.
nothing like pressure, Mark.
Nothing. There's no pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure. I should be able to find this uh, pretty easily. Yep.
One
Steve,
thing.
that reminds me that comment you made kind of reminds me of that uh, comment that the Ian Malcolm quote out of Jurassic Park. Your scientists are so busy trying to figure out if they didn't stop to think if they were so busy trying to figure out if they could do it, they didn't think if they should. And it's the same
Yeah.
thing like with that. Sometimes I think they're so in a rush to modernize everything or give people, bring it to quote, assume it's relevant,
Yeah.
but what does it do to the character? I mean, and yeah, I know that there could be various variations that have come up over the past and stuff, but when some of these characters were initially established, they were established with, not all this dark side or this other
Yeah.
character. I mean, originally, and sometimes that
Yeah.
maybe it's not a good thing to change a character.
You
Uh,
know, um, a lot of the original Kirby Lee characters were people who had to vindicate something, because of their own behavior. Spider-Man or Peter Parker, first thing he did was to go and fight a professional wrestler for cash. And when the bad guy comes running past, he just lets him, hey, not my problem, man. Iron Man, Iron Man's story was, he was making booby traps that killed other people, and then he got taken out by, I don't remember if it was one of his bombs, but something that he would have made. But Captain America is one of the guys that had, he had nothing to atone for. He just did the right thing because it was the right thing to do, and he came from a time period when people did that, at least more often, I think, than they do now. You there was a scene in the movie Gettysburg where they're making a charge down Little Round Top, and the Union colonel, I can't think of
Chamberlain.
his Chamberlain.
L
Thank
to
you,
Eric K.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
great Eric Kay.
Eric K. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. Joshua
yeah,
Lawrence
Back.
Chamberlain.
right. Yeah, that's. Thank you. And the guy, and I think this was actually did happen, but it sounds like you know the history as well, or probably better than I do. But the rebel, the Confederate soldier, shoots his gun, which misfires, and Chamberlain points his gun at him, and the the Confederate soldier says, I surrender.
Mhm.
And Chamberlain said, go wait over there by those trees. And on the DVD commentary, the director said, this really happened in those days. If you told somebody that you would, you were a prisoner, you would just do as you're told, you would, you
Mhm.
wouldn't try to run out because, there's a lot more sense of honor. Honor meant something, some people would rather die than have their honor impugned. So I think that's Captain America is sort of the last hurrah of this sort of old time belief in honor. Not belief. Belief's not strong enough word. Um, but I think, as Hungry Boy said, he's about the heart. He's about light, and you know,
Mhm.
leave him alone. Make Batman dark if you want. Don't have him go around shooting
Right.
people. You got Wolverine. You got the Punisher. You got the Vigilante. On and on and on.
And it's even the use of
Yeah.
language, like you said there, because I mean, like that. I mean, why is it necessary? I mean, because it is the clean cut look, and then, I mean, it's like my mom has a big thing when attorneys don't wear ties. It's like sometimes there's expectations for an appearance or for the way you talk. You are judged based on the way you talk, and you have
Yeah.
a higher hope for him. Like with that, I will not forget when I saw Logan. I didn't like it, but I mean, it was so dark and real, I guess, quote, realistic. It's not what I expected out of a Wolverine character. Now, granted, I'm very naive with comics and things like that. It's just a personal thing with where I'm at, but it just was like I was sitting there with, is this the same character I've seen in the comics, in the Saturday morning TV shows, and like that? So
Yeah.
But then again, there's, like you said, there's some reasons for having that, with that character for that. But yeah,
Yeah.
I found it finally, but I got to sign
Yeah.
into my account. Oh, forgot username or password. Let me do this one. I'm not on the screen.
Monkey Jeebus. Yeah, I think you're right, man. They
hmm
if they make Captain America dark, they're setting something up.
and
Um,
that's the question where I get to is, why do you really need to? Do you really
yeah.
have to with some characters? I mean, why not invent new superheroes
Yeah.
and
Well,
new
that's
powers? I mean, why take? I mean, it's like some of the recent stuff with the Superman, as I understand it, is
Yeah.
definitely not like the old black and white TV show and stuff like that. And, at least for
Yeah.
somebody like me, it's, I don't go there. Maybe somebody younger might, but
You know, um, so for a guy like Captain America, he basically, you know, um, he hasn't been alive all this time. He didn't slowly evolve as the culture did. You know,
hmm
he woke up, and to him, it's still yesterday. So,
Yeah.
if a woman walked into a room, Steve Rogers would stand up. If he had a hat on, he'd take his hat off. He'd
hmm
say, if you said, Jesus Christ or something, he would say, hey, there's a lady present.
Language.
yeah.
Language, yeah, and I think I like that. I
hmm
don't, you know, I think somebody needs to be the sort of the moral compass, for everybody else to try and say, hey, I am who I am, but I wish I could be Steve Rogers, morally
But,
speaking. I'm
and,
not, but you know,
and also it kind of keeps a contrast from all the other characters, because if every other character is going down the same dark path, I mean, at what point do you get oversaturated with it? Okay, here comes this again. We know
Yeah.
this is coming. Instead of keeping something different.
mhm.
My daughter and I had the debate about with the Last Jedi about the concept of, had they done something with that, like with gray Jedi's. I mean, it could have been an opening to do something, but obviously we know what happened. It was a disaster. But I mean, you can do
Ray
things with,
Palpatine.
yeah, eventually, yes. Eventually, you could do things with some. I mean, like in the Force, light and dark, but there was the gray, and do you explore that? But so I'm not against all change, and sometimes change is good. Sometimes change, for franchises can be good, but it's got
Mhm.
to make some sense. And everybody can't be the same, though. You got to have some things like you're pointing out there. So
True. Jeffrey, you said there was a 1940s Captain Marvel. I've never heard of that. There was a
Cereal?
Captain Marvel. Who's this guy? I'm,
The Captain Marvel cereal?
I'm
Or
joking. I'm joking, guys. I'm
oh,
flying
okay.
the colors. I'm flying the color show tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, finally got this to work. All right. Sorry about that. Let's go full screen here. All right. I thought it would go for $1 million. So it
Oh,
only
wow.
sold for 630,000. This is Tales of Suspense. 59, the splash page. So if I switch my camera to my other camera, then you can see my webcam in the back. So I've got that. Of course, the camera is hiding it there, but that's that splash page, which is just so gorgeous from that Tales of Suspense. So it only sold for 630. I thought that would have gone. I thought that was going to hit $1 million. So what do I know? I only have a few comic books in the collection. So, but so that and then they had every piece of art from this book was for sale, which is just amazing. So sold. That's no that's nothing to sneeze at, of course. But I just think that's one of the ultimate, splash pages. It's not a cover, but splash page. But just that's, if you're a comic book person, you see that, that cover, that artwork, boom, everyone's seen this, yeah. So
I love how he cantered or Dutch angled the building, but kept Cap straight up and down, as most people would go the other way. Keep the building
right?
straight up and down and have the character come out at an angle.
Yeah. So you're looking, your perspective is actually skewed, right? As a viewer, there, I guess you're looking,
Yes.
you're
Yeah,
looking at an angle.
yes, but Cap is maybe that's a point there. Maybe it's that when the world is not quite right, Captain America is still upstanding, and
Yep.
maybe that was a subtle, when the world goes haywire, you can still count on Captain America to keep things, normal or whatever. So
Yeah, Dave. Only 630,000. Yeah.
Hey, speaking
I'm
of that, if
joking.
everybody just subscribe and get Mark monetized, he can maybe get
I can
to
buy
that level
this.
of funding for one day.
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can buy a copy of this. Yeah.
I believe I was Mark's first subscriber.
Yes,
Hey.
you were. Yep. Thank you for that. And and I think Eric K was in there too, right at the beginning. And
Soon after, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And Dave, I'm joking. Obviously, Joe, I know this is a shit ton of money to swear that Captain
Yes.
America wouldn't.
You're
I was.
you're not gonna
I
make
made
it.
it. I told
Language.
Clobber language. I told Clobber Times. I think this is going to go for $1 million. So that's why I'm. That's an amazing amount of money, obviously, for a page of artwork. And I wish Jack. Hopefully, the estate is seeing some of this and some of theirs. But for what had happened, and we all know the Kirby story, and I just love all the markings and you can see, Tales of Suspense, July. I'm guessing that's July, probably 64. All
Looks
these
that way, yeah.
notes,
Well,
all these notes on here, and this, that's the original, the original page, and it's just beautiful to see that. So, hopefully, it should be in a museum, maybe, but
but they actually put the art Lee and Kirby's name on the cover.
let's see. Well, yeah, it's on the.
Was it like a
that's
big
in the
marketing
book.
thing at the time, though, or is it?
Well, this is the splash pledge. So this is the first page inside the comic.
Oh, okay, it's inside.
Yeah. So this would be in here, in the comic. Flip the page, and this is when he enters the Marvel universe again.
Okay.
So here is. I think they had. Wanted to see if they had the other pages in this book or. Yeah, Tales of, so this is, you can go through. Of course, this was only 38,000. Just how cool is this page with Jarvis? So
Okay, now we could probably pass the hat. We might have a chance.
Pass the hat, yep. Yeah, we don't need. So yep, so the great Jarvis. Yep, back when he was actually a butler. Yeah, certainly generous of Stark to provide us with a butler, in addition to the mansion itself. Yeah, and not even the Avengers themselves suspect that Tony Stark is really Iron Man, one of their own mighty members. So yeah, I mean they have all this whole book. As you went through it, every page this is page 3, went for 15,000. So they've got every. I don't know if this is one of the pages that was returned to Kirby. When Marvel was holding his art, and a lot of the Kirby art, they just gave it away, or initially, so it was a big controversy with Kirby wanting to get his original artwork back. Yeah, and look how much money it's worth to this day too. So yeah, so this is really cool that they have every page, and artwork has just gone up and gone crazy now too. So it's and well deserved too for those artists, but it's just but I think Clobberin Times bought a few pages from Jack Kirby for under $50, I think, at the time. So back in the 70s or early 80s, I can't remember exactly, but he's mentioned on the show before, so he bought a few pages. And yeah, so so this stuff and of course the art also depends on the on the subject matter too. Different pages will be worth more money. You can see this page jumped up to $40,000. So I think this last page is 66. Let's see, that's another splash page. Yeah. So this one is the last page in the book. Yeah, so this is the last page in the book, I think. I just love Kirby's art. It's just so wonderful. Yeah. If you want any more boxing lessons, you'll have to pay for them. Smack. Yeah. Everything comes to life, and when I'm reading a comic book, I don't know how, what everyone thinks, but it's like me watching a motion picture in my mind. Eventually, when the art is done really well, it just kind of flows, and as you get into the comic book and you're reading, your imagination takes over. It's looking like it becomes a movie. Yep. It's sure nice of you fellas to drop around and help me while away a lovely evening. Yeah, stuck in Avengers Mansion. But it's lucky you broke in while I was on duty. If any other Avengers were here, you might have really gotten hurt. They're really tough. I better call the police now. I'll give Bull and his boys a nice, comfortable place to sleep it off. Too bad Jarvis has the evening off, though. I'll have to tidy the room up by myself. Oh, well. Come on, make Jarvis clean up your mess, Cap. Later, after the police have taken Bull's mob in tow and the debris has been cleaned up. I'm sure glad it's almost morning. I'm one tired Avenger. I never used to feel tired. I guess when a fella reaches my age, he just starts to get soft, right? His Cap has, been stuck in ice, right? And there you have it, a living example of the Captain America brand of action from the golden age of comics, reaching still greater heights of glory in this, the new Marvel age. Cap fights again next ish. Be here. We'll be looking for you. So that was, great. A great way to bring the Cap, from the golden age to the present, of course. And at the time, what year was this? This was let's see, 64. Yep. So I'm not around then. Yep. So what do you think of that, Dad, man? Pretty cool, huh?
That is awesome. Like I said, the artwork is, this is the writing makes a lot of sense to me. So very neat, which is interesting. I don't know if I told you, but the Hulk ride at Universal, Islands of Adventure, actually has like little things in there to both Kirby and Stan Lee. I mean, I knew Stan Lee obviously, but I was in the standby line for the Hulk once, and they had him like chairman or something high, like in the research department or whatever. And it was Jay Kirby, and I'm like, hey, I know
who that is.
I recognize, yep. Yeah.
So Hunger Boy is an artist. Yeah, it said so. Chic owned brush inking. Yep. Yeah, and Monkey says I'll do smaller sketches to lay everything out before I do an actual page. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like Kirby liked to fight. Yeah, he was a tough guy from the neighborhood. Yep. So yeah, you just look at this how cool this page is here. Once again, the red, white, and blue Avenger makes an unexpected lightning fast move, confuses his foes by dropping to his knees. You missed your first blows. There won't be a second chance.
Mm-hmm.
All you need to do is grab one wrist each like this, and then with a sudden snap of my arms, I can send you off in opposite directions. Who taught you amateurs or karate? Millie the model. She's actually a Marvel comic character, right?
Mm.
Feeling proud of yourself, huh? Well, I'm going to change that. Now we're still kneeling down, unable to dodge me. I'll show you why they call me Bull. And he bulls. How's this for starter? But look at the that panel and how dynamic that is. You can just
Mm-hmm.
imagine it happening. Yep. Don't you know enough to stay down when you're beaten? Bull, a trained fighting man, learns how to take punishment as well as dish it out. Now that you've had your inning, yeah. So that's when we did the other panel, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just so dynamic and just yeah. So this is where he takes him out. Yep. And and Lee's dialogue is kind of clunky in a fun way, but it's not bad either too. So yep. Kirby was from Yancey Street. Yep, it's a tough guy. Yep, and he fought in World War II. So there's also a great documentary on YouTube. I think it's Jack Kirby's War Years. Clobbering Times had sent me the link a while ago, but let me see if I can find it.
Well, you're looking for that. You use the word dynamic, and that's a great description of that because my hat's off to anybody that can do artwork like that. I mean, beyond just sticks and lines, that can actually draw something that shows that kind of action in it. That takes talent.
Yeah, it just translates so well from that page into your mind to bring that fight to life, and then there's the humor here in the end, which is just so well done. And that's Stan, and let's see if I can find that. Watch Kirby at War. Here we go. Yep, Kirby at War. Yep. Let me throw this in here. Let me show this. Yep. Copy that link so I can put that in the chat here. Like, obviously can't play this. We're getting a little bit of trouble, but so this is a great 52-minute documentary. So tells about Kirby's experience, his time as a soldier and how that influences development as a comic book artist and a storyteller. So highly recommended. Yep. Let me put that link in. Yeah, all we do is play Fortnite, right, Dad? Man, that's as close as we get, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's not even close, right? Yep.
No, not even.
I can't imagine, what
No.
people go through and what they do to help keep us safe. Yep.
Absolutely, and
The Kirby energy dots that he would do, according to this documentary, was a tribute to, or at least a memory of, the blood spatters on the sidewalk during World War II, or on the ground or whatever, after battles were over. Way of paying homage, I guess, to people who didn't make it back.
Yep. Yeah, and a lot of people, that generation want to talk about it or make a big deal of it, or just a lot of things got ignored too. Maybe ignore is not the right word, but just unfortunately, you weren't able to go get help or talk to people or get the help that you needed, maybe, or it was not something that was discussed or was just, kind of swept under the rug, unfortunately. This is the Kirby Museum. I'm just going to, I want to. So I guess that's an interview with Jack about from the Kirby Museum. So this, recommend, Googling it and finding out more information. Let me sub to them and give them a like. And, it's always cool to find out new information and new stories and history about all these creators that gave us so many great memories and enjoyment throughout the years. So let me put this one in the chat too. So Steve, who's your, if you, rating artist, but I'm assuming Kirby's in your top 10, or if not, your favorite artist and one of your favorites, or not putting words in your mouth.
My opinion on Kirby, and Hungry Boy and Monkey Jeebus will probably like find out where I live and come, beat me up in my sleep. Kirby for me is somewhat of a mixed bag. In some things, like he doesn't get enough credit for. Like people talk about his dynamic poses, and that is absolutely true. He owned that. He elevated that beyond everybody else. He doesn't get enough credit for his camera work. I mean, just the page you have in front of you. He's got the camera on the ground, behind Cap's head,
Okay.
and then he goes to, kind of a standard 2-shot, and then he goes to a bird's eye view, and then he does a panoramic shot, and they all serve the story in just the way that is needed. Whereas a lot of people, they just sort of randomly draw two people fighting, and it's always, a side view, a 2-shot or whatever. He doesn't get enough credit for that. At the same time, man, Klobby would just kick me in the shins for this.
Shin kick coming.
Yeah. Well, he never learned how to draw certain anatomical parts. The legs, he would just, do squiggly lines. Knees were big and blocky. He always drew the fists. Well, maybe not, because I see one now that doesn't have it. But he actually would draw, when the fist is coming at you, an extra digit. As is happening actually right there on the Captain America right there. There he does not. The palm up ones he generally does not. But at the same time, having said that, now he was probably the greatest creator of all time, because I think that he came up with most, or not, if not all, of those ideas that Stan took credit or co-credit with. And yeah, as far as, like I said, dynamicism, he pushed that further than I think anybody else, could have thought of. So yeah, that's and I saw an interview or something somewhere where he said, that he didn't actually want to do comic books, that he wanted to be an artist for, I think it was either the New Yorker or the Saturday Evening Post.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't want to. A lot of fans don't want to face the fact that a lot of comic book artists were comic book artists because they couldn't get jobs in the field that, for which they really,
or they were in advertising or some other field, and they lost their job, and then they went to comics, right? Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And so some of the people who, are practically legendary in comics couldn't make it as, and this is in no way to disparage or take credit away from anybody, because these people came into a medium that they weren't necessarily enthralled with, but added their slice of the pie.
Yeah.
I think Steve Ditko is the first guy that I've ever read about who specifically wanted to be a comic book artist. And then after him, I think you have to jump to I can see his face. You guys all know him. He did the Batman stuff for a long time. Neil Adams.
Neil Adams, okay. He wanted to be a comic artist. Yep.
Yeah, he always
Great work,
he said that he always wanted to be a comic book artist, that he didn't want to be an illustrator or an advertiser like other people did. But I think Steve Ditko was the first guy that said that when he saw a comic book when he was young, that he's like, that's for me. That's what I want to do. So yeah. But so it sounds like I'm disparaging these people. I'm not, but I am trying to put them into the real world. Now having said that, yeah, Kirby stuff is dynamic. He created so much stuff. When you got a guy who created the Question and Spider-Man, and probably the Thing, definitely, if not the whole Fantastic Four.
Well, he didn't do Spider-Man. Kirby.
He probably created Spider-Man. He claimed
so?
that he claimed that he did, and he also designed a Spider-Man costume, Halloween costume, that came out 10 years or something before Spider-Man, the comic book did. So he said that he was one of the co-creators of it, and I think there's probably some evidence to support that. But although I think that
that always credited to Ditko and Lee usually.
Yeah. Well, Ditko, I think Ditko doesn't get enough credit for that costume. I mean, because at that time, everybody wore tights, wrestling trunks, and maybe a cape, maybe not. And then the emblem on their chest, the 4 or the S or the bat or whatever. And he made that really cool costume where, sort of the red came down the front and down the sides of the arms to the gloves.
No trunks,
No trunks, yeah. It terminated in the belt. I mean,
well, yeah, because from 9/11, I remember that cartoon that came out with the superheroes. These are the real superheroes, and it was Spider-Man, Captain America, Batman, and Superman. On the panel, and the artist, drew Spider-Man with trunks. I'm like, no, he didn't have. There were no trunks on. It was a nice thought, a good effort, but I'm like, yeah. On the web pits, as Jeff says, yep, that's great.
Monkey Jeebus says Ben Cooper was made the costume. That was the manufacturer, I believe, but it was yellow. Yeah, I think it was yellow and red. Monkey Jeebus. Correct me if I'm wrong. 'Cause it's been a while, but
and for you youngins, Ben Cooper was the costume company that made all our Halloween costumes when we were kids. Yeah, I'll Google in a second, but I just want to show this. My grandfather brought me back this issue. I just love this cover of Black Panther #7. And I always talk about the comics. The first 200 comics in my collection, thereabouts. My grandfather, would bring home, a few comics each weekend, and these are ingrained in my mind. So when I see this, boom, I'm like, oh, I know that was one of the comics that my grandfather got me. Just look at how cool that cover is by Kirby on Black Panther. Just amazing.
I think I haven't seen anything from Hungry Boy in the chat for a while, so I think he heard my comments and said, "That's it. I'm out of here. I'm done with this whole thing." Jeffrey and Monkey Jeebus, or Hevel said Beavis. If you guys ever saw Jerry Seinfeld's stand-up about these costumes, it was pretty funny. Where he talks about it was basically a rubber band on the back that was stapled on. He said, "What a quality item this was,"
Yeah.
Batman had the Batman logo on his forehead and the word Batman written across his chest, just in case you didn't know who he was.
Yeah. There's Daredevil. And now some of these are pretty expensive, I guess, for collectors, but they were pretty. Doctor Strange. Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Oh, here's the Spider-Man you were talking about, 1954.
Yep.
$1 billion Spider-Man cover.
Wow.
I was wrong. It wasn't. It was black and yellow. Yeah, but that was I believe Kirby said that was his idea. Dave obviously stuck his tongue through the slit. He said, "I hurt his tongue."
Interesting. Yeah. Let's check this article. Yeah.
But if you look at that, I mean, that costume is just beautiful. The way it was designed, it was so original compared to everybody else. Excuse me.
Oh, so this guy bought a collection for a seller, needed money for a new hot water heater. So $500. Yep. Yeah. So Spidey first appeared in Amazing Fantasy number 1962. Ditko designed a costume to fit with the powers he had. So, produced by Ben Cooper. And let's see here.
I guess that's
Second
the two.
1950 Spider-Man costume left, and the first licensed costume from 1963. Yep. So what did they call? I wonder what they called it. Yep.
Look, Lucky Jimmy says it looks like a luchador.
I'm starting to read
Yeah.
some of the comments about the suffocating face mask. Yeah, that's true.
That's interesting. Yep.
Jeffrey, my parents bought me a Superman costume that included a Lone Ranger mask. Piss the hell out of me.
Well,
they had.
what's even worse is if you're in a warmer climate, like some Halloweens down here, it's like almost 90 humidity. With the humidity, even when it's dark that time of year, and not just a mask, but those heavy plastic like capes or whatever you want to call them put around. Those things were hot as heck too.
Oh yeah.
Definitely not convenient.
We'll have to explain what heat and humidity are to Mark. He's way up there in the Great White North.
Yeah, we get it during the summer too. Yeah. Oh, Ben Cooper was 10 miles from the Marvel office. Yeah, Ben Cooper ruled Halloween in New York City. Yep. Ditko had to have seen this costume. Yeah. I mean, it's not. Hey, it's not the same costume, but maybe who knows? Who the heck knows? Yep.
Kirby said that he was one of the co-creators of it. I don't think it's that much of a stretch, and we'll probably never know for sure. But if he did that costume, that could have been kicking around his head all that time. Boy, that'd be a good superhero. So he might have had. Although I think the costume, which for me is like the greatest part of Spider-Man. That's just me, obviously, but
yeah, that's cool.
But that's Ditko. That's his. That way, and you can sort of see Doctor Strange in that too a little bit if you look at some of the lines and stuff. But
and of course it's pretty obvious to have spider webs. So Ditko had this cool design too. As much this is like what I would design maybe just some spider webs, but this is a much cooler design. Obviously the spider costume, and this is interesting too. So Ditko actually wrote back. So back when this article came out, I guess Ditko was 87, and he hadn't. He was famous for not doing any publicity. So the burden, he writes back, actually, the burden of proof is on the person who makes the assertion, claim, charge, Ditko wrote. Some clippings, etc., are not rational proof of anything, but some clippings, etc. That's interesting, yeah.
Ditko was such a happy-go-lucky guy. What a charmer.
Yeah, right? Yep. Yeah, okay, here we go. So Jack Kirby, who died in 1994, claimed a few times that he created Spider-Man. And the 1975 issue of Foam, a Marvel-produced fan magazine, states it was Jack Kirby who designed Spider-Man's costume. After all, Lee did originally tap Kirby to draw Spider-Man, and the artist reportedly created 5 pages before Lee changed his mind and gave the assignment to Ditko. Interesting. According to Ditko, Kirby's version of Spider-Man looked nothing like the hero we know today. Though everyone involved has a different recollection. Marvel declined comment through a representative. Not surprised. Yep.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, and the records were destroyed in '89. Company was sold in '92. Rumor has it the company Kirby worked briefly for the company. Could he have designed that 1950 Spider-Man costume before repurposing it for Marvel a few years later? Where the story gets even stranger is when Cimino went back to the original licensed Spider-Man costume he'd bought for the man who needed a new boiler. He realized the copyright in the packaging costume said it was produced in 1963, a few months after Spider-Man's first appearance. Turns out it was actually Marvel's very first piece of licensed merchandise, hitting shelves a year earlier than anything previously known. Just 3 costumes are known to exist, and Cimino has been offered $30,000 for his. That's probably a lot more now, yep. The licensed costume had a red mask, not yellow, as the 54 Ben Cooper did. They both had the spider eyes and the black outlines. The licensed jumpsuit is partially yellow on the chest with blue pants and sleeves. So why would Ben Cooper, a company that's already producing a Spider-Man costume, be interested in licensing Marvel's Spider-Man long before the comic character achieved mainstream popularity? When Spidey hit the newsstands in '62, Cooper saw it and liked the costume, he said. Then he went to Marvel head Martin Goodman, said, I think they came to a deal where Cooper said, listen, this looks like a bit like mine. I don't think it was a big deal. As for Lee, Cimino once met the Marvel honcho at an event and asked about the mysterious licensing deal. Lee had no recollection of the costume. No one's going to talk about this because there are billions of dollars at stake. You don't know if Ben Cooper heirs are going to come out of the woodwork or sue or something. If they do, expect them to find them hanging from a lamppost, tangled in webbing. Yeah, that's hysterical. That's a great find, Steve. Yep. Thank you for letting us know that. Yep. So, all right. So there's a timeline. So 54, they've got the outfit called Spider-Man. Kirby's rumored to work there, perhaps designing costumes. The 50s, they alter it, swapping the bag-like mask for yellow plastic spider's web. New design is sold until 62. And then, okay, Spidey debuts. Spidey hits the shelves in 63. Wow. Strikes a deal to sell that costume. That's interesting stuff. Yeah. So here's the two costumes again. Yep.
Matthew Pounder's comment. I totally forgot about this. Old Man Ben / Uncle Ben, Abigail March / Aunt May, months beginning with M, all taken from Silver Spider. I read that somewhere too. I don't, but I've forgotten about it. Yeah, Claudi's he's gonna be angry. He missed his chance.
He's actually on Doomcock right now. Actually,
yeah, is he wrenching for him?
Well, he's no, he's on the show.
Panelist?
Like on the show, he's a panelist.
No.
Yep. So he's regrets and.
At least he wasn't here for the Wiggles talk and the talk you were talking about the art earlier.
Well, I think his kids were probably about that time, the Wiggles. They were probably
mashed potato. Oh God.
Probably days he wouldn't. Anyway. Mark singing again, folks. Hey,
I'm okay with Mark singing. It's a lot better
I
than
am
mine.
too. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I wasn't actually in a musical as a kid. Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I that was my only musical. I think I actually might have been in a couple other plays of like summer play. Mom signed you up for a summer play. You do that. But this is a great find too. So when people find this old memorabilia, and how many costumes are left from back from back then, right? I mean, so those kind of things just end up disappearing, right? The three of these original costumes left. The first licensed Spider-Man costume, but it makes sense, right? Because and you got that signed by Stan Lee. Wow. People would kids would put that on, and who's gonna it just gets thrown out, right? They were literally like paper bags, basically, right? I mean, and the mask was really, really flimsy on those.
I think somebody mentioned earlier about that elastic band with those masks. That was torture.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and it always broke off by the third house. So you're like
right.
holding the mask and the string together with your hand, for the rest of the night at one point. Hey, hail Captain James T. Skywalker! You've been missing
Captain.
Missing some fun stuff.
Having a good time tonight. Yep.
Captain, we were discussing Spider-Man and about who created it. Because Kirby claimed that he did, and of course Ditko he did, and Stan said that no, it was him and so and so, probably depending when you talk to him. And so we got in this conversation about this mask that came out 10 years before that Kirby created when he worked for Ben Cooper. So yeah, you can see on the screen the yellow.
That mask is pretty close, I have to say.
In some ways, yeah.
In terms of
radiating,
the web.
Yeah.
Web there, yeah.
Yeah, so I could definitely, we'll never know for sure, but I could definitely see how you could say, okay, there's some room to think maybe he'd been kicking it around in his head for the last 10 years, And
said, or maybe, not that it's, just that the kernel of the idea, not, of course it's a fantastic creation.
Right.
We've got that famous, the Bill Fingerless Batman, so even if you got the idea for Batman, you have to come up with a great idea. And that costume is different, but maybe there's a kernel of the idea was there that helped, come up with the idea.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I meant. I'm not saying he had the whole thing fleshed out, but maybe he was, hey guys, I've been thinking about this character, and so yeah.
Anyway, I had a bunch of these. I think I had Superman, I had Batman. might have been Spider-Man one year, but yeah, like look how cheesy these masks are. I mean, they're cool. God, as a kid, and it was only game in town, right? I mean, there was no,
Mhm.
we didn't have these party cities with these, fancy costumes. Out some of the kids, my kids had some great costumes growing up. They were, even for a decent price, they were still pretty well done. These are literally, like bags that are colored with, the mask,
Oh man.
basically.
I
I'd
don't
love
know
to
how
have this
y'all
thing
Yeah,
one
it's a
though.
garbage bag with a yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
how y'all reacted, but it's like whenever I got, you know, back then like I was big Star Wars, but like, oh here you can be Darth Vader, and then all you got was the garbage bag, the hot garbage bag with the little cheap mask, and you're like, that's not the real thing. I want the real thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
there's Darth Vader. Yeah. We did get a cape and then you had a picture. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, look at that.
So,
The Archie mask is probably the best one out of the whole group. There's just something wrong with that.
it's pretty good, actually, the Archer mask. Yeah.
Oh
Not
God,
bad.
that's scary though. That looks like something you see on a drive-through order. Kind of scary. Eh.
James T. Skywalker apparently kept the masks on his bedroom wall.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'll bet that was a sight to be seen.
Yep. Yeah, the man who, Bob Kane stole a lot of stuff, but yeah, the man who laughs. Yeah, the look of that.
Yep.
So he took credit for Batman for years. So if you watch the documentary, is it Batman and Me, the
Mhm.
Bill Finger documentary? We've talked about that a bunch of times. That's on,
Right.
I
Yeah.
believe, on Hulu.
Yep.
It's a much watch for comic book fans. So now, uh, Bill Finger's credit on everything with Batman as a co-creator going forward.
Yeah, and I think his grandson or granddaughter is now getting some of the payments that he never got, and that his son. It's a very interesting story because this guy who'd been trying to get credit and therefore money, to where it was due, and Finger was long dead, and then he had a son, and he said, "Well, I want to find his son," and because there are probably royalties that come to him, and then he found him, and he was dead, and he thought that was it, and somebody came back later and said, no, he has a daughter, um, the son, so Bill Finger had a
Yeah.
granddaughter, and he said that's not possible. His son was gay, but apparently he actually did father a child, and now she goes to some events and represents Bill Finger, even though she never heard of him, until she was an adult. So the comics is twisted stuff, you know. Siegel
But
and
I'm glad
Schuster,
someone's getting,
yeah.
they're getting recognition. Yep. Yeah, I got to get that thing mask.
Oh,
Probably
there's a
could
quality.
3D print it. Probably. Yep.
Yeah, wow, that's a quality item there too.
So, and the other, well, we're gonna wrap up. I think in about 15 minutes. But the one thing I wanted to talk about too, of course, we could talk a little bit of Moon Knight. I don't know if Steve or because that was in my background tonight.
I have no subscription services, so
Okay, so you don't know
uh,
anything. Well, I'll just talk about it briefly. Dadman, have you got anyone in the chat? Dadman, seen any
No,
of
I haven't.
the Moon Knight?
No,
No.
I haven't. I've watched Reacher, but not
Okay.
Midnight. So
So next week, do your homework. No, just kidding. There's so much time in the day, right? But I have
ah,
to say, without I'll give like super minor spoilers, but there's really not a lot to spoil at this point. But I think the first two episodes have been pretty good. Maybe taking a little bit long to get there, so it's he's got he's kind of like a Hulk type character. For people don't know Moon Knight in terms of the personality. So this iteration of the character, he's got two different, three different personalities if you consider his. He's an avatar for Khonshu, if I'm saying it correctly, the Egyptian god. So it's Mark Spector is the mercenary, the badass who's in control of the quote unquote costume or has all the power, and it's he's got a dual identity with Stephen Grant at this point, and I'm not a Moon Knight expert, but I think in the beginning, I don't think he had that duality to the character, where it was two people, inhabiting the same character. So he's kind of changing back and forth. And what gets kind of frustrating in the show is that they're taking their time to get there, and they've got obviously when you've got the TV series you can do that, but you're like, just turn it. It's like, just turn into the Hulk. Fight the bad guys. And Oscar Isaac, I have to say, does a fantastic job of playing two different characters. His personality changes, and he does a great job. Some of the scenes he's talking to himself, basically, like in a mirror. So it was later. I believe it was later that he had the dual identity disorder. But like I'm saying, I'm not a huge Moon Knight reader. So Jeff is saying, yeah, he hasn't watched WandaVision or Falcon yet. Yes, Moon Knight had MPD in the comics. Yeah, I did, but I think it was later. But I could be 100% wrong. But so far, the first two episodes I think are well done. Some good action. Takes a while to get there, but I think these directors kind of know they've got, say, six episodes. What is it? 6 episodes? I think 6 or 8. So you got 6 hours to tell a story. You can take your time with getting there. But it's a real cool looking character, cool design, of course. The basic premise is Kanushu judges people. So even if you're going to do something horrible 30 years in the future, you'll be judged, and he'll thanks, Jeff. Yes, 6 episodes. So then his avatar. There's a character Ethan Hawke is playing Arthur Harrow, who was a predator who had the Moon Knight powers before, and he'll hold your hands and he'll basically judge you. And if you're judged not quote unquote not worthy, if you're done something evil, you drop dead on the spot. So it's an interesting character, and I like it so far. It's a little slow, I'll have to say, but that's not entirely bad. And he doesn't know who the heck he is. So when he's Stephen Grant, he's it's that he's got gaps in his memory, and he's gets fired from his job, and he wakes up at all different places and has no idea what's going on, and where he is, and he has a phone that he finds, and someone calls him, and he's no idea who it is, and it's this important character in his life. So it's pretty interesting so far. And Isaac, I think if you didn't have a good actor, trying to pull that off, it's not going to be easy. So I think he does a great job doing it. Ethan Hawke has been good so far. So I give it a tentative thumbs up. Hey, Comic Relief Crusader, you made it. Thanks for being here. Yep.
Oscar Isaac actually was one bright spot, I thought, in the Mouse trilogy.
Yep. I'd agree with that.
If I watch this show, it may be because of him. So, is that on HBO Max? Do you know?
No, this is a D plus show. Yep.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Yep. So I'm not getting into the politics of Disney and all that stuff.
No, I know.
But I could hear you groan, but that's okay. It's all good.
Oh, no, it's just I groan because I don't have it. It's like,
you don't have it? Okay.
I don't have it.
I mean, if I'm not getting into that here, but
I don't blame you. I would not touch that with a 40.
I'm not touching it. Yeah. But if you do have D plus, or if you're huge, I know I have a couple friends who are massive, Moon Knight fans, and been waiting for Moon Knight for years and years to be on screen.
Yep.
And so far it's been, and I can use that as an excuse after watch some of the stuff. I made Cloudy watch Star Trek Discovery, so I could, I love reviewing this stuff and talking about it. So I had to show him some Tilly scenes. So he wanted to airlock me, but I survived. But it's been interesting so far. So I give it a tentative thumbs up. Oh, and look who's here. We're just talking about getting getting airlocked. The great clobbering times is here.
Oh wow! Don't tell him what I said about Kirby.
Oh, add the stream. I think we
Oh,
both added. We've
Thought I was gonna
added each
sneak in
other.
on you. Yeah, that happens all the time.
Yeah, we both clicked the same thing. Hail,
Yeah, I
hail.
saw you guys having all the fun over here, but I couldn't do anything because it was. But having all the fun talking comics. When I'm here, you never talk comics and stuff. But now I'm
Sorry, yeah. Go figure, right? Yeah.
Well, we wanted to wait till you weren't here, and then we start talking about original Kirby comic book art, and who invented Spider-Man. Really, and we got into all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it's time for us to go back to the talk about the Wiggles again.
The art of Steve Mitchum. I like that shirt.
Kal-El is here too. Yep.
I gave Hail Kal-El, another Steve M. So we're all represented. We lost Hungry Boy. I think my commentary.
Oh
about, no. Well, it was probably on me because Clobby. I was mentioning how there are a lot of comic book artists who are great comic book artists, but who didn't want to be comic book artists, but they just couldn't make it in advertising or illustration or something. And that's not to take anything away from them because they created an industry, and they did elevate the art. But so when we're looking at a lot of these great artists, we also have to look at their at the real world. So, and I said, Clobby would push me out of an airlock for saying some of these things.
And he's gone now.
I think he left when I said. I think he left when I said that. Yeah.
Let's see.
Hungry Boy, what's up, dude?
Hungry's here. Hungry's still here. Yep.
Is he?
He's in the chat. Yep.
His name's showing up at the chat anyway.
I don't see him in the chat for.
I did put that up, Jeff. Yeah, that is pretty funny. Yeah. Sometimes Moon Knight thinks he's a Rebel Alliance pilot.
Boy,
that was funny. Damn it.
Doomcock really hated Moon Knight, and he went off on it.
He did. Yeah.
Oh wow! Worse than me. Here's Hungry Boy.
I thought it was passable. I didn't think there was anything egregious about it.
It got. I don't know. They didn't really. The second episode doesn't really progress anything, and you don't. It's just it becomes. It's got some of that crap with Stephen Grant's getting old in the last.
Yes.
The only okay stuff is in the last couple of minutes, as always, with these shows.
Yeah, well, just before you got on, I was just saying
the third episode.
It takes too long to get there. So I think when they've got these 6, they got 6 hours to film. Yeah. So in a movie where you could have compressed, I think these first 2 episodes maybe down to, you could maybe do this in about a half hour. I think both of these first episodes.
Yeah.
As a setup, just compress it way down.
It could have been all those first 2 episodes could have been 20 minutes.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of getting at before. I think they've got the time to kill. So, and of course, a lot of times too, it's, you think more is better, or, hey, I got all this time, let's stretch this out instead of getting to the heart of the story. And of course, if you do love the character, right? I mean, say this was a Ben Grimm story, right? Maybe we wouldn't mind so much if it was, we get an extra 2 hours of Ben Grimm, or, I'm just, so it's your audience too. So I'm sure the Uber Moon Knight fans probably, although maybe they were, took too long for Moon Knight to appear.
It's you didn't get a lot of Moonlight. Khonshu is really horrible, by the way.
Yeah, why are they making Khonshu
good? He's a monster.
Why are they making him like a funny type? They're going for the humor angle. It looked like to me.
Well, he's also he's pretty nasty.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, well, he's judging people, right? Yeah, so he's judging people.
Yeah, but all that stuff about using her, taking his wife and all that stuff.
Yeah. So he's a nasty. Does that follow the comics, or?
When I read Moon Knight, he wasn't a crazy. It was hearing Khonshu talk to him and all that stuff. So I don't know. That's modern crap. All the crazy stuff they're doing on this show. It's just kind of like Moon Knight's basically, they call him Marvel's Batman, but he as Batman. Some aspects of Batman are based on the Shadow. A lot more of Moon Knight's based on the Shadow.
Okay.
What's up, Dad Man?
How are you, sir? Good to see you tonight.
Good to see you.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure.
Pizza. Hey, spoilers. What spoilers?
Oh, spoilers, right?
Sorry, Jeffrey. I don't know. I thought you had it up here, and I just assumed they were talking about it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Yep. So here's, of course, there's a ton of to answer that question for a second. Yep. So
What?
we've got, I think the Captain Skywalker's asking about, Hasbro with an. Are you talking about the classic costume? So we have been able to get a lot of classic costumes. At the end of the movie. So that's
That's nice.
the good thing. So you can get a bunch of those now. So that's a nice thing that I do love some of my old Spidey action figures, but it's great to get that, to finally see that classic blue and red like that. So
That's nice right there. Whoa.
yeah, so you can get that now. So which is a good thing. As much as that movie costume. Ooh, I don't like that one.
Ugh.
The dark blue with the raised silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right, but it's not the classic. Of course, then they give this texture to it. I never liked it, so yeah. So you can find that out there. So that's a good thing. Go spend some money. Go buy action figures. Yep. Spoilers. Yeah, those were minor. Yeah, minor spoilers. I'm not giving anything. Nothing big away. But of course, if you've read the comics,
Oh yeah, we didn't give any spoilers away because it'd be almost impossible to spoiler it.
nothing really has happened.
We just
Actually,
we didn't talk about anything that happened in the show. Look at Jill.
hey Jill, hell, no, but I mean, I don't really. Not much has happened in the show when you think about it.
No.
I mean, it's been very slow, and it's, and of course, if you've seen any of the trailers that are out there, and you've
Right.
seen probably as much of Moon Knight as has been in the show so far. I mean, he's
Yeah.
towards the end of the last episode. He was in the first few minutes. This scene everyone's seen in the trailer, so that's not giving anything away.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind watching it. I mean, I didn't think it was that.
No, I mean,
that
I didn't hate it as
bad.
much as he did because I mean we're in a time where we're sitting through P Hard and you're sitting through
God.
crap like STD, so it's tough to get all worked up about Moon Knight, but it does show that it's. I mean, all the other Marvel TV shows are terrible, so it does show that they're. I don't know. Now they've got 2 episodes in, and it still looks like they're just screwing around.
Well, they're taking their time. Yep. Yeah, taking their time getting there. Yep. So yep. So that's our Moon Knight coverage for the week. So go if you love Moon Knight, go watch it. If you then we're gonna get a little bit of Star Trek. We gotta have some Star Trek. 4K.
By the way, Dad, man, have you guys tried to get Steve to play Fortnite with you?
I think I mentioned it in the chat once.
I'm just messing with Steve. I know he wouldn't
No,
really love video games.
no, seriously, yeah, Steve, come on.
I don't think he plays many video games. Do you, Steve? He might be busy.
No.
Oh, Steve. Yeah, Steve. I think he said he'd be right back. Yep. But he's got to have the computer for it, right? Did he? Yep.
Well, either way, Clobby, there's still room for you,
much.
though.
I appreciate that.
He's an animator, so he's got to have it. Yep.
Yeah, but
Gotta have
Clobby,
a
still,
decent computer.
there's still room for you there. We got tanks now.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
We gotta have Sergeant Hawka driving the tank for us.
Well, I mean, he's
Right.
got computers and stuff. But I mean, I'm just saying, I don't think he plays games that much.
Yeah,
It's like
I
me.
know,
I
but
don't
I'm
either.
talking about you specifically.
I don't play games either. You should know that.
Yeah, you do.
I got rid of my
you do.
PlayStation.
You just be our tank driver, or we'll
Oh, I
put
didn't
you in
tell
the
you?
gun.
I
We'll
sold
put
the
you in the
PlayStation.
We'll put you in the machine gun on top. How about that?
I didn't tell you that. I sold the PlayStation. It's gone.
No.
I threw it in the
Oh, man.
garbage.
Maybe we'll have to do a GoFundMe for you then.
I actually threw it in the garbage. Huh. Yeah. Just to be sure.
Hey, well,
The missus is going to be very
miracles-
upset with that.
Hey, Clobby, miracles do happen though. I was able
What's
to get a switch hooked up properly and connected to Wi-Fi in a hotel, so I
Not
didn't have
bad.
to have the IT department with me on
You're at
that
a
one.
hotel?
Last week I was, yeah.
Oh, at a hotel? Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
not easy. Yeah, is it? Wow.
Yeah.
Don't they make you like buy the games from there and stuff, or they used to?
No, they used to, but you can take your own games in there, plug them in, hook into the Wi-Fi, and
Yeah, they
like
let
we
you do
do.
it now. Yep.
yeah. So
Oh, so we had Chinese food the other night. So I'm eating a fortune cookie. So here's the fortune. An acquaintance of the past will affect you in the near future. And then it says, I thought I flipped it over. It says, how about another fortnight? I thought, no, it says, how about another fortune? Secondfortune.com. Okay, my lucky numbers are 24, 17, 19. Oh, wow. 17 and 19. Those are birthdays in our family. 17 is my birthday, and 19th was my dad, my sister, and my mother-in-law were all born on the 19th. And my other sister was the 3rd, but my mom got into like a minor car accident, so she was born early. So she might have been, she would have been a bit later in the month too. So, all right. So 24, 17, 19, 47, 46, and 6. So go out play. If you do play those numbers, I'm not responsible for any lost cash on the lottery. But if you do win, I would like a cut so I could buy more extra. Oh, no, it's 48 and 8. 24, 17, 19, 47, 48, and 8. All right. So,
yes, get Mark that cut so he could buy some of those pages that he showed earlier.
yeah, Mark needs action figures. Yep. I had to
Not
pay for
action
that
figures,
Captain
that
America.
artwork. That's
And the artwork, yep.
100,000. Yeah.
I'm going to go play these damn numbers. Why not? Who knows? Yep. Would be a good fortune. Yep. That'd be, that Chinese food will pay for itself then.
There you go. Hey.
I keep threatening to do the watch party. This weekend was real busy. I was watching my younger cousin. It's almost like we call it, it's like a nephew playing lacrosse.
Yep. Haven't you heard that they're trying to stop people from doing watch party stuff like that, like playing it on apps together to watch it?
I haven't heard that. No.
I heard somebody talking about that. Oh, where was it? Wasn't on Doomcock's show tonight. I stopped by some stream today. I forgot where I was watching it. I was sitting here doing stuff, and someone said something like that on a stream. I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah, I always want to be careful. Yeah, I think I don't want to speak out of turn, but I don't know if it was Brandon or someone. Or was Jedi Bill was doing one. If I get the YouTuber wrong,
that one.
Apologize.
I don't know if it was when I was watching Culture Casino today, or maybe been him. I'm not sure. Or one of his guests saying it. I think it might have been on that.
Yeah, I guess because if you publicize, that's what I was worried about. If you publicize it and you have like the YouTube stream open, telling everyone,
they're stopping people from watching it together. Yeah.
Oh, so they were shutting down those streams if they saw that you were.
That seems to be what they were saying. Now it could be, I can't remember. It was on some show today.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know for sure.
Well, I have seen them done lately, but where I've seen it is over on Twitch, and usually it's also been done with Amazon Prime. So like you have to use your Prime account to access it to watch it with the hosts that are doing it. So
yeah, because Prime has it set up too. You can do a watch party,
and obviously
and
the
YouTube
difference
also has
between
a
YouTube and Twitch,
Yeah,
so
and
maybe
YouTube also has
something...
a watch party feature too. So all these services have watch party features, but then everyone that's in the watch party has to have the service. So I'll ask around and see. I guess the other thing too, I could just put it on Twitter, and then you don't put it on YouTube, and just whoever shows up. That thing, right? So it doesn't.
And they said they were doing it to Discord and other stuff too. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, that's what I heard.
Yeah, because Discord has watch party feature, and then I know Paulie and Nick Weiser were doing. Like X-Files, like you go, what they do, they put the Discord link in, you go watch the episode in Discord all together. We had like 8 to 10, 15 people, and then you come back to YouTube to discuss the episode. It was kind of fun. It was kind of a cool idea. But
absolutely.
Well, you don't want to get in trouble these days, so that's.
I mean, what can they do to you? I mean, I wouldn't do it on the channel or anything, but.
Yeah, well, I guess they could pull the.
You're doing it on
stream
YouTube or something.
down.
It's not like you're doing it to a channel or anything.
No, but I guess say what I've seen is like the channels are playing, and
yeah.
And then they you're on another you're watching another website, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, I guess I could always just put it on Twitter. Come watch party, come here.
Yeah, or everybody go to Twitch. Get you monetized on Twitch.
Right.
Twitch, yeah. But
Steve, I never saw a tank top with a Shazam thingy on it. Or did you cut that? Did you make it?
No, you can get this on Amazon.
Okay, cool.
Wherever, yeah.
Because I am.
the camera is like the opposite of what I expected. Yeah. Yeah, I needed a tank top to work out in. I was wearing my Dadman t-shirt earlier, and then I gave Maddie a bath, and I was soaked from head to toe. So I had to. So I thought I'd put on my new workout tank top.
Coolness.
So yeah, I want to
Excellent.
get back in the gym and get the muscles back. So
Get the muscles back. Yeah.
So this is
That's
so
where
this
you
is-
left them.
They're always in the last place you'd look. Yeah. No, this is, I mean, this is the, this is the reason that I'm even here, and I don't mean just here tonight. I mean probably still alive, because this TV show got me into comic books, and from that I started watching The Incredible Hulk, and that's where I found out that you can actually change your body by lifting weights and eating right and stuff. Because up until The Incredible Hulk came out, I thought people just were either born with muscles or born fat like me or whatever, So I probably would have had the family heart attack curse take me down by now, as Klobby knows.
Technically, you are born with muscles, I think.
Yes, we are. That's a good point.
Just not
yes.
big ones. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the Shazam.
Shazam.
Shazam,
And the muscles are back. Yeah.
Shazam.
I knew somebody was going to go to Jim Neighbors,
Yeah, it's impossible not to. Look at Courtney.
Hey.
Oh, Courtney's
here.
back.
Hey, I'm
Hey,
probably
Courtney.
something. But it's
Welcome.
really-
I don't see Courtney.
Well,
Oh,
here
there she
I'll put Courtney up
I'll show
here.
my
Yep.
face. I'm putting my glasses back on. I was just cleaning. I will show face.
Yeah, join me in the land of actual being on camera.
Well, I'm on
Oh, I'm
camera
up top
too.
now.
No, you haven't been on, you haven't, Mark,
you
you haven't
see
been
my
on camera. You haven't been on
No.
camera all night.
I'm right here. See, I'm right here. I'm Captain Kirk.
Oh, okay. I thought you were Miss Piggy.
I'm Captain Kirk.
And there's Klobby behind you in the view monitor.
Yes, I'm there right there.
Meet
Miss Piggy.
I'm Captain Kirk.
I was always Captain Kirk. Yeah, or Scotty. Yep. But
How are you?
That's too.
Oh,
welcome,
great.
Courtney. Welcome.
I'm
Great
wearing a red
great
shirt.
to have you.
Howdy, Courtney.
Thanks. I feel like I
Yeah, I
haven't
can
seen you
switch
guys
to
in a
my-
long time.
Been a few
I
weeks,
mean,
right?
I've
Yeah.
seen you. I've watched you, but been on here for a long time.
Let me fix my hat. Yep.
Oh, there you go. Now we're
Yeah.
talking. Yeah.
I'm live. Yep. It's not Memorex. Yep. For those of you that remember,
Yeah, I
remember what
remember.
that means. Yeah, what the hell's what the
Hang on,
hell's
hang on,
I always
hang
put the
on.
hat on crooked. Yep.
Sing a note and see if you can shatter this crystal. But yeah,
I
I
can
use
do that.
Polaroid cameras, just like the OG, like for pictures. OG Polaroid.
Oh, the Polaroid. Well, Polaroid's made a comeback for a while too. Actually, they.
My sister had one. There's a picture of me from like 5 years ago on an actual Polaroid, and I was like, yes. They just look cool.
Oh, they're fun. Yeah, a lot of fun. Yeah.
About I think it was 9 years ago, I went to the first con that I went to in Salt Lake City, and they were using Polaroids. I met Dean Cain, who I was a fan of, and Klobby doesn't like the show, but
I like Dean, though.
yeah, Dean's a good guy. He's a really good guy. I mean, I always tell people if you get a chance to meet him or John Davey. John Davey let me talk his ear off about Shazam, and he just kept smiling politely and didn't chase me away or call security. But anyway, Dean Cain, yeah, that's how at the first Salt Lake Comic Con, that's how they did it. Was they had an assistant for each celebrity, and they had a Polaroid, and they wrote on the Polaroid. And somewhere I've got the Polaroid. I think it's got this file cabinet here of Dean Cain. He wrote, Steve, those guns are illegal, Dean Cain, which I thought was really cool. and in that most people just squiggle a line and they're done with it. So yeah,
It's pretty nice. Yep.
but now of course they've all moved on to digital, and so
Oh, we should do a poll: Ensign Rowe versus Miss Piggy. Who would win?
Miss
That just
Piggy.
makes-
It's not even
Yeah, not
Yeah,
even
Miss
close.
Piggy
Right?
definitely.
Yeah.
more,
karate chop and it's all over.
Karate chop.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No
right.
contest. Yep. Yeah.
Have you seen?
So-
There's another YouTuber that's doing the showdown between YouTubers. He put like I think it was like I don't know. For instance, it would be
It was
like
Floro,
Latino
yeah.
yeah, Floro was doing.
Yeah, because I was on the show. I was on the show. He
Oh,
put me
you
on
were
the
on
spot.
the show the one time. Yeah.
Yeah, that one of them. Yeah, it was one on last week. I don't know if he's done another one since.
Oh,
then,
I
but-
didn't see last week. You're on. They put you as one of the people to a contender.
No. Just I was on the panel, so then
Oh,
I
okay.
had to pick between
I did see you then on the panel. Yeah, I did.
Latinos, like Jeff, like
I
epic
always
rap
pick Pauly.
battles, yeah. So, but it was Paulie versus Tom, and then they're
Epic
like,
rap
yeah, but
battles.
Tom and Toxic Man Flu was on. He's like, but Tom looks like a serial killer, doesn't he? He's making fun, making some great jokes.
Well, he
He's
was
like,
really roasting Tom.
he is roasting Tom, and it's like, in 5 years, you all
Flora was the
disappear.
puppet.
Yeah, Flora was. Oh no, and
He's
TMF was
funny.
on too, and Punk Waddle, and Nick was on with me.
Yeah,
Yep.
I did see it. I have to catch up on a couple of like the clipped ones because the whole episode, when the whole episode was on, I think I was driving, so I couldn't really.
Yeah.
Or I had to go somewhere. But do you know that the person that makes Floral made me a puppet?
Oh, cool. Yeah, because
And
didn't they do
it's-
your intro?
Yeah, I remember I won the the puppet on something. Yeah, they did my intro. Wilton did. Yeah, for my show. But
Yeah, he's
that's not the
talented,
puppet. It's en
Oh,
route
that's a different
from
puppet.
Canada right now.
Oh wow, awesome. That's very cool. Oh, he's up in Canada. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do you have the puppet handy?
Not yet. No, it's
on
he's
the way.
mailing it now. I saw what it looks
Oh.
like on he sent me a little video thing of it. He's
Very
really
cool.
cool though. He made it even he like made it he adapted it because I get like really bad arthritis in my hands. And to use a normal puppet, you have to be like this the whole time, and it's like a very specific movement. He even like made it like adaptable. Is that the right word? For me.
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
For my hands. I was like, you're awesome. Never thought I'd have a puppet, but I want a puppet, so we'll see.
Nice. So, what's the
Maybe
name of the
it's
puppet?
my
Does the puppet have a name
I
yet?
don't
Or
know yet. I'm thinking I have two different ideas for like the personality and stuff, but we'll see. That's to be
to be
announced.
determined. Watch Courtney's
Yeah.
channel to find
Yeah,
out.
I don't
Yep.
know when it'll happen yet. I'll probably be with the puppet on other channels maybe. But anyway, just thought I'd bring that up because of the showdown thing. That's where it all started.
We
Yeah,
were
YouTuber showdown.
we were talking about Muppets earlier in the
Nice.
show. Yeah, pigs in space and all that stuff.
Oh gosh, I used to love the Muppets.
I bought the first 3 seasons for my daughter because I don't want to watching the crap they produce now. So
Good for you. That is so cool. Like kids these days don't have. That's why you were talking about the Wiggles earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and
I just
Barney.
seen it
CDs.
and I was like,
My CDs are still available.
oh my goodness.
Mark
Oh
remembers
goodness.
the
That was the
lyrics.
worst. I didn't know they were still around. I really
Mhm. Yeah.
my little like they call me Aunt Courtney, but it's my cousin's kids. Not my real name, like nieces and nephews, but they were so obsessed with the Wiggles when they were babies.
Oh,
And
Wiggles
my
were
cousin
great
and I
for
would just be
kids.
like, oh, those guys were just weird. I don't know. I mean, more power to them, and it made the kids move because they wanted to wiggle, but like they were weird.
Fruit salad.
I'm
fruit
weird.
salad.
Different
No,
Made
but the
some
songs are-
serious money off of it too, though. Hey,
meat.
Cloppy, you do so many impressions? Do you do any of the Muppets?
I never thought
Not to
about it.
not to put you on the spot. I mean,
No, I mean, I probably would be any good at it, but no, like I probably couldn't go to Kermit or anything like that. I don't know who I would do. I said I love them. I could
was
do the
my-
critics for me.
that was a
Kermit the
mashup
Frog.
of
I
Kermit
can't
and
do it. I can't do voices. Yeah.
So what now?
I was
No,
going to
it's-
sound like a mashup of Kermit and Snaggletooth. Exit stage left, which I can't do. You know.
Hmm.
Almost the chef a little bit too was mixed in there. Like the
Yeah.
tone of
Yes.
We
think
were,
maybe
about it.
seeing evil.
Courtney, did you ever see? We were talking about this earlier, and also for Cloppy, because Dadman never saw the Muppet Christmas Carol with Michael Caine.
Hmm.
Have you
Yes.
seen it, Cloppy? I can
I've
see
seen everything.
Yes.
I've seen everything.
classic, so good. And I was telling Dadman and Mark, my favorite line was when Michael Caine says to Kermit the Frog, who is Bob Cratchit, he says, "Bob Cratchit, let's discuss the evictions for tomorrow." And Kermit says, "But sir, tomorrow's Christmas." And Michael Caine
Yeah.
says, "Very well, you may gift wrap them then."
Yeah.
You did that well.
Oh, thank
You
you.
did that. Yes, you did. You did good.
And Jeff does do a killer Dr. Bunsen honeydew. I can attest to that. Yep.
Oh, that's cool. What's in honeydew here at Muppet Labs? Yeah, I can't really do them, but yeah, what a great collection of
Face the
Muppets.
music.
Although
Ozzy
anytime
the Bear
I
here.
have no
Oh,
voice in my
man.
puppet.
All these requests are
I'm
coming in
there.
now.
I loved how Kermit had, when he would clap, he would have his rubber arms. Sorry, I thought I heard crying. And he'd be like,
That's really funny that you noticed that, because on the puppet that he made me, he has like claws, and the claws are adjustable. So if I want to, maybe stick a certain finger up or something, I can actually move the fingers like on the claws of the puppet. I never thought about the actual claws and having to do all of that with like a string. I'm not coordinated at all anymore. It's gonna be a mess.
Swedish chef.
Right
Puppet
there,
Swedish
is
chef, that's so
right
Can you do
there
it,
is
Bobby?
one.
oh,
Hungry-
Eagle.
Hungry-
Yeah, Sam.
Hungry
Sam.
could do some, yeah.
Eagle.
Do Sam Eagle.
Go ahead, Hungry.
We're getting a lot of requests there. Yeah.
What eagle is who?
You know,
Sam
Sam Eagle, the
He
real
was
American.
patriot guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's always like, I'm here to make sure that I can't do the voice, but he's like,
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm here to make sure that the highest standards of quality and wholesomeness are.
You'd always
Trump Lake.
critique the Muppets. Yeah.
Well, Mark, you mentioned the Hollywood Studios ride there, or show with that there, because it was a famous,
Loved it.
near the end, it was like,
Sam
"But
comes
Sam,
out
are you
and-
ready? It's a glorious salute to all nations, but mostly America. You got 3.5 minutes." Ah! And he just runs off. It's hilarious.
Is that Pat? Pat S?
No, it's Dad Man.
Oh, Dad Man. Hi. Sorry, the name's run up. I
Where's
don't know how
Pat
it's all
S?
there.
Waka waka
Hi, Daddy.
waka.
Pat was in the chat earlier, but
Megan.
he, if he has a chance, I'm sure he'll swing on by. Yep.
Captain
Waka
James
Waka, Clancy
Skywalker.
Street Waka.
Captain
Waka
James,
waka.
don't worry. I will not let Maddie watch Barney. Claudia, did your kids, was that Barney at the time your kids were about that age?
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Seems like you would have it burned into your brain for the.
You love me. We're a crappy family. I used to warp the lyrics to that when they'd be sitting in the back of the car, sometimes in their car seat. That's how young they were, and they didn't know why I was saying like some pretty messed up stuff. Nothing like curse words or anything, and they would laugh because it sounded like I was making fun of Barney. That was good enough for them. When we would be on trips, I used to sing them the MST3K theme. They love that.
I hate you. You hate me.
Exactly. That's
We're
what
a
I did.
dysfunctional family. That's Jeffrey's.
That was a good one,
You
Steve.
were-
Yeah.
Smack
thanks.
right
Do you
across
know
the
what,
head. I'm gonna
I'm
beat
sorry.
you to your dead.
You're-
I'm sorry.
I was singing with you. You know what children's show I actually really liked that was more recent? Was Yo Gabba Gabba. Now people have mixed feelings about it, but does anyone have kids that were like of that age? That was
We missed
probably
the Yo
big.
Gabba Gabbas.
Hmm.
It was so cool. It was okay. It was probably in 2012, 2013, maybe ish. I was teaching kids that were that age. And I worked at their homes too sometimes, and so that's how I got introduced to that show. But they had like it was all like musical based, and they had Muppet type creatures, kind of like the style of like Big Bird, like on Sesame Street, but like newer. And it was all very musical. So they would have different like famous musicians on that like the adults could relate to also. So for someone like me, I used to love watching it. They had what's his name? Like Biz Markie, who did that song, Say He's Just a Friend. Remember that song? Just a
yep.
Friend from
Yep.
Well,
What
Biz
I
Markie
need.
was
Yeah.
the daily beatboxer on that show. So like you'd be watching like a kid's like sketch, and then he would come on and do all this like really cool beatboxing. So like for adults, we'd be like, I don't know, it's a cool show. Yo Gabba Gabba. Sorry,
Gabba
Yo
Gabba.
Gabba Gabba.
Yo
is what
Gabba,
it's called.
Yo Gabba Gabba.
Yeah, look it up. It's cool. I approve. Like it's not something
You
that's
approve?
yeah. They did it well.
Wow.
Yo
All
Gabba.
this talk about kids shows are really making me feel my age tonight. And It's
should-
like,
If there's a video, you probably get a copyright strike for it. But Yummy in my tummy or something.
Dad, man, I think I'm the oldest.
but listen,
Yeah, but
my
as far
oldest,
as age,
my
my
oldest,
kids are the oldest though. Go
my
ahead.
oldest kid is graduating for her undergraduate now, and now she's going to go grad school at the University of Georgia. And I'm like,
Congrats.
yeah,
Wow.
but I'm a
See,
Gator fan, so
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
No, you don't like the Bulldogs there.
No, but
No.
it's the best option for them.
My
Condolences.
kids
then,
are
yeah.
35 and 33, so that'll make you feel older. And they happen to the things that I had to sit through were, of course, the Barney and all that kind of stuff, like I said. But I also had to sit through the Power Rangers movie. They loved they were just a little bit young to get into Turtles, the way like my
Okay.
nephews.
They missed the
But
turtles.
theirs was Power Rangers and Pokemon and all that stuff.
You were
Did you have
lucky
to deal
kid.
with Teletubbies though, Clobby?
No, that's way later. I mean,
Okay,
no,
okay,
my
good.
kids.
Never knew. I never saw Power Rangers ever. That was like right.
Oh, I had to go.
Like,
had to
It
put
was
up
right
with
when I got into college, so it was like when I wouldn't have
Ah.
known it from being a kid, and I wasn't like, it wasn't something I was going to look up, at that age. Never seen the Power Rangers, and I've actually never watched a Pokemon thing, but I play Pokemon Go, and I'm obsessed with it.
I didn't
Maybe
have to
it's
sit
just
through
that.
that, but I had to bring them to the Power Rangers movie.
I heard it's good. Were they good? Did you like it?
I didn't get into it. I mean, but they loved it. All the kids that age loved it.
Well, the
What
first
a-
Rangers
what a
were pretty
Shakespeare.
good, I thought. Yeah, the Amy Jo Johnson was my
Oh
favorite.
yeah, she
too.
was a cute girl. No,
She's a good singer too, great singer. Yep, she
Those
was
guys-
actually played in the movie Sweetwater, which is the opening act for was a big festival '68 Woodstock. They were the
Woodstock.
opening act for Woodstock, and there was a movie about she was in a car. The singer was in a car accident and had to come back, but she was actually a really good singer, and she had a band too. So. That's my Power Rangers trivia for the night. That's about
Well,
all I know.
Mark, that comment about the electric company, I mentioned
Yep.
it earlier.
love the
But
electric company.
I will tell you,
Yep.
that's the only part of electric company that I ever wanted to watch. It was like, forget the
Yeah.
rest of this. Let's have more Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. That's all I cared about.
Exactly.
Did you watch the new
Was
Zoo
that,
review?
Oh my gosh,
1, 2, 3,
Bobby,
4, 5,
Coming right
I
at
have-
you.
I have a story about New Zoo Review. I remembered the New Zoo Review as a kid.
Oh boy.
And I talked to my kids when oh boy, this is even better, Poetic Justice, because I was bragging to my kids, they're like 2 and 5 at the time. You're going to love this, was what we grew up. We got back in Netflix with the DVDs that they sent. We put it in very first episode. Great theme song, one of the best show theme songs ever. And then we sat there, watch it. They walk off. I'm sitting there like, what the heck did I have happen to me in the 70s when this was the highlight of entertainment? It was the worst. Oh my gosh, yeah. So they walked off from me. And I didn't dare bring them back because it was like, yeah, I'm bored.
Yeah, but this was great though. The electric company, like every other kid, I only cared about Spider-Man on there.
Yep.
Remember the theme
Yep.
song? Spider-Man, where are you coming from? Spider-Man, nobody knows who you are.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was
Anyone
thinking of
remember
a different
Easy Reader?
show. I think I was thinking 3, 2, 1 Contact when you said.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
remember
okay.
321 Contact?
That
Remember
show.
that one? Yeah.
That's what I was singing the song to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I was like,
Remember
wait,
Easy
that's
Reader?
not it.
Don't remember
Easy
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 Reader.
Reader?
Reader?
Did you?
That's the guy on the electric
remember
company,
reading
played by Morgan Freeman on the electric company.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. That's
I have
right.
to look that up. I've never.
Yep. Now that you say
Easy
it,
Reader. He was on the cover of every Spidey
Writing
Super
that.
Stories. Or Spidey Super Stories?
Wasn't it? The only comics I was into as a kid were like Betty and Veronica and like Archie comics. I was like obsessed with them, and of course the like Sunday funnies. That was. What am I writing down again, guys?
Kojak.
Help my brain.
Easy
What
Reader.
Did anybody
Yeah,
buy
Easy
some
Reader.
Spidey Super Stories?
Got it. I'm sorry. That was my senior moment in my
Yeah.
mid-40s.
Well, 321
Oh, geez.
Contact. That was a PBS show too, wasn't it?
Yeah. I watched most of the PBS stuff.
Wasn't
Like I
that-
remember.
Science kind of show, basically.
I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, they would have the thing that went down, like the balls that went down the track. I just remember like random clips from it, and this song.
But there was
1,
always
2, 3,
something
4, 5,
educational
6,
about it,
7.
wasn't it?
Yeah, my
And then- and
parents were all about that for us. Like
I remember the
toys I
Zoom
played
TV
with, I had
show.
like a speaking spell. No, I
Must
don't
have watched
remember.
Zoom. You got a Zoom.
Yeah, I do remember this, but I don't think I watched it that much. I do
Yeah,
remember
so
though.
this was
That's
Zoom.
familiar.
So this song is ingrained in everyone who grew up in the 70s had. I guess they brought it back, but 72. So you got a Zoom.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like the Wiggles, like how they took the stage in their videos. It's kind of what it reminds me of. Maybe they took it from.
Damn.
Okay,
So
when are we
finally-
gonna get to
Oh,
the,
that's what I wanted.
when
It
are we
was the
gonna get to
Morgan
kitchen
Freeman
paper?
thing that you were talking about.
Morgan Freeman. Yep.
That's
So
how I
here-
got it.
That's what I
I
had to write
finally
down.
figured out something that won't be on the internet. Everything in the world, and I finally broke it.
You broke the interwebs.
Well, remember I was talking about Spidey super stories?
Yep.
You remember that? Anyone remember that?
Remember, I still have it.
Still have them? Well,
Yeah.
there was in Comics Journal back then when I was coming out. John Byrne did a Spidey super story spoof cover of Spidey and the Punisher, and the Punisher's killing Easy Reader. It's a parody cover of the. So,
Oh
I
God.
can't find it. Oh man, I'm looking at the old covers. Well, I'd
You can't find it yet?
somebody. I figure somebody would have put that online somewhere.
Did anybody watch the kids from Caper?
No.
I'm the only one that I can't. I still remember the
Nope.
theme song. This was like in the 70s.
I don't know that one. Was a Saturday morning one?
Yeah, Caper was the civilian authority for the protection of everyone, regardless. That's
Wow.
what the acronym stood. It was
Holy
really
Christ.
dopey.
Which ones are?
It was really dopey. But it was.
Wow.
I watched it. I watched it every. It was like a Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, or something.
I love Sigmund and the Sea Monsters. Yep.
or Shazam.
Land of the
Looking back-
Lost.
I never watched Land of the Lost.
Back then, it seemed like every Saturday morning show was Sid and Marty Krofft.
Those guys owned them, or
Well, they had a lot
Filmation,
of stuff, yeah.
or
Yeah.
Filmation.
Or Filmation.
Filmation
Well, it
had.
was Hanna-Barbera and Ruby Spears, but yeah, right.
Yeah.
I remember names of all.
Well, one of the shows that I
don't
loved
think
was
I
The
was-
Battle of the Planets. And then only
Oh,
did
yeah.
last year, my oldest daughter again, who's into anime and stuff like that, she's like, told me about Gotcha Man. And I'm like, what? And
Gotcha. What do you mean you've got
like,
me?
yeah, there's a lot of
Gotcha Man.
stuff that was, and
Gotcha
they
Man.
changed a lot of stuff for American viewers. So that's a series I got to watch now.
Yeah, Battle of the Planets.
I love that show. Tiny was my favorite character. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Could have
What
called
about
Tiny
Princess
today.
Princess
though.
was something else. So,
HR
you know.
Puffin stuff. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
HR
reading the
Puffin
chat and I got
stuff.
excited.
How about?
I didn't mean to blurt out.
Well,
I
it's
know.
good.
I think
HR
Bobby's-
puffin stuff.
I got really
Who's your friend when things get rough?
I'm telling you, Mark needs to consider having a karaoke night or something. 'cause
I
he's liking
can't
to
sing.
a lot.
Only
You
if
have
he
spent
gets,
so much time.
only if he gets Arwen and Clavi sings as Scotty.
Well, don't forget Raquel. Though. Raquel's got
Oh,
a great
no.
voice.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
Yes, she
Clavi
does.
Scott can
Clavi
sing, yeah.
does the best Scotty I've ever heard.
He does a good Scotty. Yep.
Yeah,
Claudia's
do.
just humble,
I
but
don't
yeah,
know.
I bet Claudia could belt out some tunes.
I don't know about that. No, I'm
his,
terrible.
His Johnny Carson sucks.
And I
But
think
his-
that's my best one. So there you go.
No. Your Scotty is
Oh,
literally
you're kind.
Clavi is the best Scotty I've ever heard. Your
And
Johnny
why did they
Carson
do that
sounds
to
like
Land of the
Professor
Lost?
Pinkstone.
Usually correct, sir. By the way, you all know I mentioned this before, but Sid and Marty Krofft had a theme park. They were trying to be Disney. Anyone ever even remember that? But me,
I think
Oh, wow.
watching some defunct. Is it the
In
YouTube channel
Atlanta,
Defunct
had
Land?
Sid and Marty Krofft Land. They tried to open up. They tried to be big like Disney, and it was in the 70s and 80s. And we used to see ads for it.
Where-
Remember at school they had Pizzazz magazine and Hot Stuff magazine, or whatever it was.
Pizzazz,
No,
I used to
yeah.
highlight.
Dynamite or whatever.
I'm the younger.
Highlighters was
I'm in
for
between.
younger
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah, that was like
Pizzazz.
big in the 80s.
Dynamite.
Lidsville. That sounds.
Lidsville. That was
familiar.
before. That was before Puff and stuff. That was one of their first ones. The Bugaloos also. They did the Bugaloos.
Bungalows. Yep.
What about
I'm just
Lancelot
looking-
Link?
Oh, wow.
That wasn't theirs, but was it? But yeah, or maybe it
Oh,
may have been.
Anybody
theirs.
remember? Remember Lancelot Link? They had
Yeah,
chimps and they
monkey,
dubbed
the
in.
chimp. Yeah.
How about High School Musical? If anyone wants to do a watch party for High School Musical, I know all the words to that inside and out because my
There you
kids
go.
watch that. Like,
I should, but I don't. That's when the newer
I mean,
high school
over
musical, right?
and over High School Musical. Well, the first and second one, and I have to say, I mean, that was wholesome entertainment.
I've never
And,
watched it.
Oh my God!
I was a
songs in
music
that
teacher
just
too. I should know
ingrained in-
this, like for more.
Well, that
current
started the
stuff,
whole
but-
It's Puff and
Glee
stuff.
Yeah, Glee.
Glee
I remember.
craze. Oh, that was 2000. I'm looking it up.
Then there was
2006.
Sigmund and
so-
the Sea Monster too.
By then, I wasn't teaching music anymore. I was doing special needs, so that's probably why I never watched it or never got. I would have, if I was still teaching music, I definitely would have watched it. But
Oh God,
I
start with
think more of
something
like
new. I'm looking at the. I'm
Fame had
sorry.
all the music in it.
I'm looking at the titles and like it's going in my brain like these the titles from High School Musical. Breaking Free, like Breaking Free. Oh my God, I can hear that now. And then the funny thing is, my kids, we went to some camps during the summer. You know how they do a talent show.
Mm-hmm.
So like then all my kids, everyone was singing High School Musical. So I think they did. I think I have like I can't even play it probably because I get in trouble. Like a 20-second video of like Breaking Free. They're singing the song. And then my son Charlie wanted to do Spider-Man. He wanted to do the theme from Spider-Man because I was watching the animated cartoon with him. So I remember I was on my phone trying to write down the lyrics for him, so he could sing the song. So they got up and they did it was so cute. I mean, this is for parent it's fun, but they got up on stage and then they had someone who would play the music with like on a karaoke machine or something. So they got up there and they did the theme from Spider-Man. So Philbo's here saying don't do it. So don't sing. Please don't sing High School Musical songs. But God,
I see Rat Fink somewhere in the chat, or I did. That's what I was looking at. I was like, who's talking about Rat Fink?
Rat Fink. Oh wow. Does anybody remember the Ghostbusters? Not the movie.
The original
TV show
Ghostbusters.
Yep, the one with the ape.
The guy from F Troop.
Yeah.
Yeah, the F. Yeah,
Forrest Tucker.
I'm Spencer. He's Tracy. I'm Kong. Yeah.
Spencer, Tracy, and Kong. Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of stuff that was like before my time.
Squad.
If it wasn't on TV Land, I never. You know what I mean? I never got into it.
What's that?
Because I was obsessed with TV. A lot of stuff that was like before my time. Because I love older like movies and TV shows. I don't know. I just always liked that stuff. But I didn't get into that stuff unless it was on like TV Nation or TV Land. That's what it was called. Remember that channel they had for a while?
Yep. TV Land.
I became obsessed with Michael Landon from Bonanza, and like really, the age I was when I was watching it, he was probably like so much older. It's like
you guarantee he was
impressed with like him at the at his age in the show.
Yeah.
He was still older than me.
Yes, Pop Culture Republic. I've watched Jason's documentary. I think I own it actually.
Huh?
Scotty.
Okay. Does anybody except for me remember a show called Run Joe Run?
I remember there was a dog. It was a German Shepherd, wasn't
Yeah. It was the classic
Saturday mornings.
It was the same formula as like the Incredible Hulk or the Fugitive. The dog was accused of attacking somebody and he didn't really do it. So he's and every week he helps. Yeah, he's like a military dog. And he's got all these skills and so he's always like remembering his training and he pulls the kid out of the burning building or whatever. And then basically Jack McGee shows up and the dog takes off and runs away until next season, I loved that show. It was a live action show.
Yeah.
I used to love it when I was a kid.
Love that doggy.
Yeah.
Oh, Matthew Pender, that is James Doohan and Jason of Star came out. I'll go back one. Yep. So that's
James Doohan was on that one.
He was in one. He was only in one season. I think I believe the first season.
Yeah. And Jonathan Harris was on Space Academy.
Yep. So they're kind of similar.
Dr. Smith.
Similar shows. Yes, we'll go to that. So this was kind of like a Buck Rogers type character, and was, and this was of course the shocker. That's the bad guy. I can't remember. It was Drago's. Yep. Kind of like a Buck Rogers type.
Drago's Sid Haig. Wasn't that Sid Haig? That guy's the actor's name. Yeah.
Yep. And
he's still around.
And this was the was that the admiral who was in charge? He was blue.
That guy's he played a character, an old western from the 50s and 60s. I used to like called Lawman. That's John. What's the guy's name now? Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy. John.
I can't remember his name.
Oh, I used to like Lawman too. It's weird that he's in black and white. There, it was on a black and white western. Was he?
He's colored. No, he's colored. They got like a green kind of like a UFO coloration on him.
Are you talking about the name of the actor?
Yeah, this guy John, here on the right.
I'll find it.
He looks so familiar.
Well, here we'll go to
I'll find
the by the
Ladies
power of
and
the
gentlemen,
internet.
I am going to call tonight because Maddie keeps waking up and saying I'm not there. So
Uh-oh.
have
Yo,
a good night.
Dabba.
Thank you for the stream.
Remember, you
Thank you
Dabba
for being here,
Dabba.
Steve.
I
Yep.
enjoyed it. So
All right,
Say hi
buddy.
to
Take it
Maddie.
easy, man.
Good night,
I will-
Steve.
I will
Glad y'all were
see
doing it.
some of y'all tomorrow night for
Take care, buddy.
Monday Night Mark C. All right, good night, everybody.
Be good, Steve. Yep. Take
Yeah,
care.
that was
Thank you for being
That
here.
was John Russell.
John
that was a great.
Russell,
I
yeah.
used to like Lawman. That was a good show.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great catch there, Clever Times. Yep. So Jason the Star Command. That was a fun. How many episodes was it? I think it was 28 episodes, 2 seasons. I think. Yep. So I believe I have that on both on DVD, and then of course it also mentioned that was what was the other show? Space Academy. Yep.
This Academy, yeah, with Jonathan Harris.
Jonathan Harris, right? And then
Dr.
they went to
Smith,
space. Went down
baby.
they went to space station there, I believe, right?
I think so. Yeah.
And they were training to be cadets. And and then of course had this. Of course, you always had to have a robot.
Art
A
too.
robot. There's Jonathan Harris. Yep.
Oh, the pain.
The pain.
Bubba-headed booby.
There's this shuttlecraft there. Yep. So, yeah, it was a fun. It was a fun show. I mean, cheesy, Saturday morning
Quark.
entertainment. But
Yep, Quark with Richard Benjamin. That's showing like 12
Oh, yeah.
episodes or something. Quark was pretty fun.
I own Quark. Yep. I do own Quark, Jeff. Yep.
It was
That
a
sounds
garbage
familiar.
cow. It was a garbage ship. They were, yeah.
Yep.
Got it.
And there were some twins or triplicate.
Yes, there were
The triplets, triplet
I
girls,
think
right?
they were
Yep.
twins, weren't they? Or triplets? I don't know.
Yeah, I think weren't they on the show? Weren't they triplets?
I
The
don't know.
show, or no, they were
There you
twins.
go.
All right. Those were the twins.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was Quark. Yep. And I was all excited for a new science fiction show when I turned it on the first night.
It's a comedy.
Like it's a comedy. It's not like it's not sci-fi. What's going on here? Where's my Star Trek? Why are these girls scantily clad? I don't care about that. I want action and adventure. I don't want these twins.
You guys remember, I'm still the person that has never seen Star Trek.
Oh, you've never
Wow,
seen
really?
Star Trek?
Never. And I'm gonna start. Like, I'm not against seeing it. I just never had the opportunity. I just never got into it.
Yeah,
And
never
everyone's
seen-
telling me like newer things to see, and I'm like, no, I want to see like the old. I want to go from like the beginning.
Yeah, we got to
Yeah.
start.
Definitely go at the beginning and go in production order, of course.
I can't
If
If
believe
you do,
that
you might not,
never-
I don't know if you like any kind of science fiction at all, or
Yeah, I do. It was, I don't know. I just never got into it. And so by now, it's like I never watched. I do know what a Ferengi is, which is random. Like I do.
Yep.
There's like the people with the. I won't tell you why I know that. That's just a totally different thing. But I don't know. I've never seen it. And it's really funny
Wow.
because I always end up on people's streams, and then they're talking about Star Trek, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, I've never seen it, and everyone's like, what?
you never know. Might not
I
be
like
your bag,
listening
or you
about
might
it.
enjoy it. I mean, put it this way: if it does, I put it to you like this: if you watch it and it does interest you, and you do like it, because you might not, but if you do, then you're in for a treat because you're discovering for the first time now. Man, I can't even imagine what it'd be like to just be seeing it now. Because some things that I watch now that I didn't watch before, I go, wow, why didn't I watch that back then? Like UFO.
That's
and
kind
stuff.
of why I want to get into it.
Well-
Because so many people speak so highly. Any derivative Jill is like, what, Courtney?
Of course, the hype might
yes.
kill it for you. The other people, so many people love it. You might go, what's all the fuss?
Inconceivable! Inconceivable! You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
That's stupid.
Jill is saying in the chat to start 1966, and that's funny because I have a
Yeah.
soft spot in my heart for like all movies and TV from the 60s. So that's why I
Oh,
want to start
that
from the
helps.
beginning.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
one
that's
thing-
the best.
One thing's for sure, you've got the two of the experts here to listen to and take
I
their
know.
advice of when to start.
I know.
But I will tell you, because I'm a 66 Batman, I will always be that way also. But with the Star Trek, I just got in probably part way through the animated series. So I've never seen the original Trek. So I've started with
I'd rather see the original.
well, and that's to Claudia's point. I think starting at the beginning and going forward, because I've actually jumped that process. I started with the animated series, going through Next Generation. So, and I know Next Generation, I guess, has a lot of callbacks to, or they parry off some episodes from before. And I think it would have done me a lot better to start at the beginning. But I tell you what happened with me is 30 years ago, I'm more of a science fantasy person. Star Wars, blow things up and stuff like that. 30 years ago, I wasn't mature enough or sophisticated enough to get into the more intellectual shows and things like that. And I'm learning the difference between science fiction and, what I'm used to and things like that. And I think now that I'm older, more mature, I can appreciate it now if I go back and look from the beginning forward than I would have 30 years ago when it was out. So
you said you haven't watched the original series?
I have not watched the original series. I've watched the movies.
I didn't know that.
I've watched
Maybe
the
we need to,
movies,
start
including the
watching
motion
Party
picture
Foul together.
and and I watched.
The newbie.
I think maybe the one with the whales is the one of the movies that I've not watched. But I've seen 3 or 4 of them. Fire! Mine is when he says fire. But and I didn't realize that was Christopher Plummer in that role in that movie. But I do need to go back and watch the original series. I mean, I've seen episodes here and there, and generally I've liked them. I mean, when I've watched them, but I do think
you've got Genesis, but you don't have me.
Sorry, I can't resist.
Well, with Mark and Claudia and Raquel leading the way, I'm good hands and Jill out there and people like that. So I know where to come when I have questions.
No, but I mean, if you haven't, I wish I could, not that you do that, but like erase your mind and go back and watch it again. Of course, with the love of watching it, but to see that with the Men in Black and I erase all the Star Trek from your mind so I can just enjoy it for the first time again. Of course, hopefully you find out that you do like it again, right? that second time around. But
absolutely. Well, you guys help make it fun too. So hey.
Thank you, Jello. This is one of my favorite clips from Star Trek. I appreciate that.
What on earth is that?
I am endeavoring, ma'am, to construct a mnemonic memory circuit using stone knives and bearskins.
Great episode.
And then, our friends, we would always use that quote, whenever we're trying to do something, something's going wrong, you're trying to build something or do something, we'd always quote that, and endeavoring
I
to.
love the style. I don't know, just for makeup and stuff. I mean, so classic. And,
oh God, yeah. It's a great episode. That's probably considered the most famous episode, most acclaimed episode for sure.
But definitely, start, we're going to try to enable you, but start watching, if you can watch it, watch it in production order, especially that first season. The later seasons really don't matter as much, but I have to hand it to Raquel.
Especially first season.
First season. And after that, it really doesn't matter as much. But God, I mean, just to be able to go back and watch that again, it's just so good. And that's a good segue into, the motion picture. So I'm assuming, Courtney, you've never seen the motion picture.
For me, the newer versions, as shows or movies went on, especially Star Wars for an example, I prefer the style without all the special effects. I prefer the old school kind of cheesy in a way, special effects to the new I don't know. The new stuff's a little, I don't know, it just doesn't appeal to me as much. I like the old-fashioned kind of way.
Yeah, they go to the new bridge, and it's I can't follow the bridge. It bugs my eyes. As much as I was hoping the new Star Trek would be good.
It's overdone,
oversaturated
or something.
Yep. Yeah, that new bridge, with all the lights everywhere, and they're doing Strange New Worlds. I guess you talked about it a little bit on the Doomcock tonight, Clever and Times. Did they get to Strange New Worlds?
Oh boy, did we ever!
Yeah, sorry to bring that up, maybe, but I mean, just the bridge on that. I don't mind the ship so much. I know they got to change things and add lights and whistles and stuff.
Well, even at least to me, on the Next Generation, the bridge, it was still not an overcomplicated bridge.
Yeah.
It didn't overpower you with things, but yet when they had that,
I like that bridge.
Scotty, when they had that the throwback to the old Enterprise bridge, in the rec levels, it really made an effect. Just sometimes simplicity is better. You can overstimulate people to some degree, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like look at this stuff. I mean, this just kills my eyes.
Oh gosh.
I mean, it's too many lights. I mean, of course they got the red, but it's just too bright and too many lights. And just because you've got LEDs doesn't mean you should use them. So here's the bridge here, and at least it's semi reminiscent, but they don't need all this red in the front here. You get the railings that got to be red, obviously, but it's not clean on your eyes. It's just too distracting. I mean, I can see, okay, we're going to make view screen bigger now. Maybe you'd say the view screen was, small on the original Enterprise.
Could you point out like the new where's the new one and where's like the original?
Yeah, let me go. Let's see if I go.
I'm just curious because
Oh yeah.
I just went through this whole thing with my friend about we were watching someone who was sorry, I put my chair down though. We were watching someone who was comparing He-Man toys, but the original ones versus the new ones, and I was like, these new ones are crap. Like looking at the difference. I was like, I was like, the original. Look at I forget the owl looking guy's name. I was like, look at the eyes. He looks scary. The new one looks like he's like afraid. Not the scary one. Like he's, I don't know.
Well, at some point, the practical comes into me because why would you be wasting power for needless lights around? Like it's like trim lighting. Why would you use that? I mean, when you want your power on your shields and weapon systems and life support and everything else, but
it's just overcomplicated.
Yeah.
Might be upset.
Yeah, because you do have the tech, so it's almost, and I'm guilty of that, being the engineer who like let's go overboard, but sometimes less is less is less.
It is better than the bridge of this pizza cutter, but
yeah, it is. Yeah, but here's the original bridge, right? For example, okay, so I'm wrong. There was red on the front, so but just see the angle here. It's just too. By adding that angle, it makes it. It's making it confusing. This is just cleaner and just you're at home when you see it.
Not Art Deco, but it looks more like, I don't know. It's just like
well, it is Art Deco. It is Art Deco.
Is it Art Deco?
Yep. Yeah.
I like
you ever seen those videos on YouTube where you can turn on for like 10 hours of just the bridges of one of the ships or one of the rooms of one of the ships?
Oh yeah,
with the humming background noise, and you could just run it all night.
Yeah, I've seen
they have that
PNG,
for like one of those for this. That's cool.
Or like the different rooms of the ships, different ships, and or other spaceships type too, of course. Star Wars, different ones where it just you could leave it on your TV. It's like a low. It's similar to the ones they have like other videos where it's water washing up and down in the ocean or rain coming. Just so you could just leave it on and sleep. You get to sleep. It's like a sleep video type thing. They have Star Trek ones like that.
So I mean,
that's
I have
cool.
to.
I like those. Oh, sorry. Go on. Finish what you're saying about the Star Trek.
No. I mean, I can see where they're trying to honor the bridge, but look at all these damn lights here.
I don't like that.
So you agree with that as someone who hasn't watched?
As a person who's never seen it,
that's what's interesting to know.
I prefer that look.
Yeah.
But I mean, other people are different. Who knows? That other one looks like a 70s or like an 80s like roller rink, kind of like. I don't know, reminds me of it.
I mean, I have to be. You know how much I hate all that crap, and that looks better than the pizza cutter bridge.
They like with the lighting here more subdued. It actually doesn't look as bad. But if they add all the what I've seen with all the lighting on,
it's the least of the show's problems.
Yeah. But it's like give us something that's a little bit, a little bit closer. Like when you've got a scene like this with all.
One from Relics, which just shows the bridge, maybe.
Yeah, I mean this is cool. This is not bad to have panels like that and buttons. But they're making the red much too wide here, I think. If that's
10 years before.
You have a really good point about the colors, because there is something about the difference in the colors from like older TV shows versus the brightness and stuff that you get. Like I don't know, it's just that it's the Art Deco look. Then that's where I'm sold.
It's too much. Oh yeah, here you go. Here's the original series bridge for 8 hours. Yep. So I don't think we'll get. So you can
cool.
You just watch that for 8 hours. Yep.
It's got the.
I get zoned out on these channels that they just get in a car and you're driving, and they drive just anywhere. Like you'll be in different parts
Yeah.
of the world.
This
Those
got
are
the
the
sound.
channels I tend to turn down. Mm-hmm.
And of course, the original bridge was carpeted. I could say, all right, so we're not going to do carpet, but carpet's actually comfortable, though, right? I mean, in that century, right?
Was. Original is the way it should be.
Yep.
That's what I always think about everything.
But you
Like,
could
don't
tweak
change
tweak
things.
it, like when you go to we're talking TMP bridge, but you recognize the bridge, right? So let's go to that evolution. Or
What is TM? I have no idea. You guys think I'm
That's
so
The motion
dumb.
picture.
sorry,
okay.
yeah,
First Star Trek film is called Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
here's the new bridge, but it honors the old bridge, so it's really close. Of course, it's a little bit less, obviously less color. I'm trying to see if we get a good picture here of that bridge. Let's see. Yeah, so here's. Well, there should be a better picture of the bridge here.
Stuff like this gets me excited to see something. I'm a nerd in that sense. I like how I'm getting to look at all the differences and stuff. And when I go watch something, like,
Oh wow!
I wish I had this toy. This toy is worth a lot of money. Yeah.
Oh, it's plasticky crap, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
see,
I'd love to have it.
Michael did a video on that. Did you ever see his video?
Yeah. Yep.
But still, you're right.
did
It'd be good
watch
to
that.
have.
Probably if I do the motion picture.
Well, Mark, the talk about all the lights and stuff of the bridge reminds me of you remember the scene in Airplane 2 where Shatner's in there on the moon
Yeah.
and he's asking about the flashing red lights and the things that blink. It's hilarious. That just reminded me of that right there.
Yeah,
We'll be seeing
right.
the relics right there.
Yeah, so here's
I only saw the first Airplane. I don't remember that.
Second one's kind of funny, but the first one's a classic. Oh yeah.
The one with did you eat the chicken or the fish and the diagrams and all that stuff? That's really nice.
Oh, that was the first
Oh
one.
yeah, the original. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. But I love that scene though. On the second one, it gets overlooked, but it was just they had to shush the doors to open to close each time, and the whole scene with the lights and the blinkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're over three. You're over three, dude. By the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We'll probably wrap this. Thank you for clobbering me there. But
Thought you want to know.
Yeah, I do want. Yeah, because we were going to head out, and then it was great to have
I've
you
been
guys
streaming
join.
since 7 because I was on with Doomka.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Oh my god.
Heavens to Murgatroyd.
Central.
I'm sure that desk is not feeling good.
No, I'm about to.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I did
well,
for
here, why don't
4.5
we-
hours the other night. I was done.
Well, this is a good
Fun.
time to wrap it up. Yep. So I just want to mention real quick, if you haven't seen the the motion picture, maybe we'll do that watch party if it doesn't zap my channel. But go out and even if you get Paramount Plus for $6 for 1 month and just watch this movie over and over. My missus was like, "What was that? What was that noise in the first floor here?" No, that's the motion picture. Just have it running on over and over. So just love the movie. I grow to love the movie more.
I love it.
Courtney, I mean, you could really need to watch the series to enjoy this. So it's.
I was just going to ask that. I should probably watch the show first.
You
Yes.
watch the show,
Thank you.
That would be. I would say.
I need to watch it the right
mostly.
way, so I don't trick me.
or at least the first season. I would say to get in. If you did like, I mean, we're not saying you have to, but
If it's your cup of tea, then you're in for a
it's
treat.
something that I've
Yeah.
been wanting to do, and I finally have the attention span coming back to watch like different shows and stuff. I didn't have it for a while after being just with sick stuff, but I finally have my attention back, so I can sit through shows.
Now, Clobby, are you saying to watch the entire series before watching motion picture?
I think you should just do it in order. Why
Okay.
not watch? No.
To be fair with it,
I
I
think you
need to
should,
go
but
and
you don't
do
have to.
that. I need to go and do that because I watched the motion picture without having the original series, and so I need to do
but
that to give it a
it's
fair
not a
shot.
or at least the first,
Look, let me tell you
season.
something. When I was 15 years old, I'd seen very little of the TV series.
Mhm.
1979, when the movie came out, I started seeing all these ads leading up to it on the back of comic books. I got the comic book adaptation. I had not yet seen the series that much. So the first thing I saw that made me now a Star Trek fanatic for over 40 years was getting to see this in the theater over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And so as a 15-year-old kid, this was really the first, my first real big exposure to paying attention to Star Trek. And I love it. And I always have loved it. So then, of course, we got one of those early VCRs around that same year. And I recorded all of the episodes when they started running it again, because they weren't running it before that, where I am. And I recorded every one of them and watched them over and over again. So it was my gateway into it, really. So
Yep.
You know
So
your age now. Just kidding. I was 1 year old.
Yeah.
No.
And what's cool about the motion picture, what they did real quick, because I know we're going to get out of here, they had a director's edition. So the director, Robert Wise, is a fantastic guy. Yeah. They went back and added new footage, and he kind of made it his vision, because the movie was really rushed. Getting it out, they had a December date they had to hit. So they did a director's cut, but for years we could never get an HD. So they finally went back. So God bless Paramount for that. And you have, the Enterprise in HD now, and 4K and Dolby Atmos and all the bells and whistles. So, as much as I love the movie, now it goes to 11 now. It's it's even better. So it's just such a beautiful thing for a Star Trek fan to watch and to see that. And I was showing some images to Clobbering Times and Raquel, and you guys are pretty impressed. Raquel was like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god," because it's like a new movie when you when you watch
it's amazing.
it. So, yep,
it's beautiful.
So
I feel really lucky. Like this crew here, Mark and Cobby, you guys have excited me the most to want to see this, because you're like you saw it at the ages. You know what I mean? When you could have you saw them. So, because a lot of people, are closer to my age or whatever that are into Star Trek, and a lot of people tell me, "Oh, start here and start here." Like I know Orville, like she's in that comment there, but that's like way later, right?
Yeah, and Jill's doing some great Orville
I love
reviews.
Orville.
We love the Orville's the successor to Star Trek. Yep.
Yeah.
So that new movie definitely goes
Why
to a
don't
low.
you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
Okay, sure.
Sorry, I just got
I had a shirt
get
like
my
that.
clips. Get my clips out tonight. Yep. But all right. Well, why don't we run and get the heck out of here so we can
you don't have to do it on my account, dude. I'll just
no. I gotta get to work tomorrow.
I've been here for 5 hours.
I love streaming late. No, it's a good. And I was gonna stop an hour ago. I'm having just too much fun. So it's
Fortnite.
You guys educated someone that didn't know, so we're gonna
head to see, we're enabling Courtney to watch Star Trek, so we're doing our job and see. We've got these weird Star Trek people around that have all these props and things, and just
I love old classic toys. I love all that. I've never seen the show, but that's awesome. Do it again.
There.
Beam us up, Mr. Scott.
Nice.
Captain, this is... We read you. I can't change the laws of physics.
And you can actually use this as a cell phone, which is cool. It's Bluetooth,
Nice.
So yep.
Those voices. I mean, that's not. That sounds like the
it's them,
characters, actors, not just some kind of knockoff thing. Wow.
Yep. So I did a review on that on my channel. So that's my the new Wand company. They re-released them. They were out of stock for about 5 years, and they came back out with it. One of those things I'm like, I didn't buy it the first time around, and I did an enabling video. And I'll have to do actually a review of it. It's on the list. So
yeah.
But no, I really want to thank everyone that's been here tonight, and I can go back in my chat and see. Wow. So of course, we thank the great Hungry Boy, Geoff, Pop Culture Republic, Phil Baggins, and of course Steve Mitchum was on the panel with us. Who else was here? J-Man was here earlier.
Oh, cool.
Kal-El was here. Matthew Pounder, Captain Skywalker, Captain Marty Spock, and of course Andrew Jill. I got to get your link in the chat, but go check out Jill's channel. Great Orville reviews. Eric K was here. Did I say Dave? I think I said Dave was here.
Dave was here.
Dave was here. So great crew. David's still here. Yep. Monkey Jeebus was here.
Yeah.
I love this stream right because I can go back with my bad memory and see all the people that are here. Small Time Republic was here.
Pop Time. Pop Culture Republic.
Pop Culture Republic, yep. Let's see, who else am I missing? I hate to miss anyone, but yeah, so just appreciate everyone being here.
Matthew Pounder.
Matthew Pounder, thank you for saving me. Yep. So during the week, hopefully I'll get some new videos out. Courtney, what do you have going on? Any late night stream after this one for everyone?
No,
Captain
not
James
tonight.
T. Skywalker, sorry, Captain. Yep. Not tonight. Yep.
Hey, Captain. No, I've been doing Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night. At least one a week, sometimes 2 or 3. But Friday nights, I've usually been going right after Creepy Little Book, which is from 1 to 2. So then we do the kind of after stream, and I'll go till until the wee hours of the morning.
I've seen a lot.
And then
I've seen a lot of those. I've lurked when you were doing it sometimes. Yeah.
You're a lurker? I love that. I love lurkers.
Well, I lurk sometimes only because I'm laying. I don't feel like getting up and going back over to the desk. So I just watch it on my phone.
Watch on the TV.
Yeah, so you can see it on your phone or something if you're laying in bed or
Or just depends,
on TV.
Yeah.
We just it's just silly. All it is to make people laugh. It's for people that are maybe alone in the middle of the night, people insomnia. That's why I started it, because I'm an insomniac. So
no, you've got some great shows.
You had a lady friend, and there was
things.
somebody else. Last time I saw it was you and some lady friend of yours, and
Amy.
Yeah.
And
Lovely
West
lady.
Moody, that was probably the episode Amy's really neat.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to see her next in 2 weeks. I'm going back to Colorado for a week and a half. So
excellent.
And I got Jill's channel in the chat. Yep. So check out Courtney, and let me get Courtney's channel in the chat here too, because I was doing both.
And then other than that, I think Captain is going to be on it. Not this Monday, but not tomorrow, then following Monday on Talk and Roll on that 70s Rock fan show. Talk and Roll is the name of the show, but it's that 70s Rock fan. He's doing a new wave and a punk edition, but only 1976 to 82. That's nice. my expertise area. So I'm going to be on that, and I think Captain is too.
Yeah, so Courtney is a music expert. Obviously, went to Berkeley School of Music, which is not in California.
Berkeley College of Music, in Boston.
Yep, in Boston, yep. So, really appreciate you being on, Courtney. And that's a couple times. Sometimes I lurk there too. You know what happens too, because if you're on really late, or if you're at work too. So Dave is saying chat lurking is an art form. Like you want to say hi to everyone, but if you say hi, you're going to kill like 10 or 15 minutes. So it's sometimes I just say hi at the end of the show or something. So you don't want to
plan the perfect sentence to say, like, I'm here, but I'm not here. I'm not in the chat.
I'm here, but I'm not
going
to
answer. You can't respond to anyone after that, even though you might want to. You can't.
Yep. And Clobbering Times, I know you've got your show coming up tonight now.
2 hours earlier than usual. The comic review. I know you're probably busy. Dude,
I'll be at a meeting.
Yep.
If you're still on when I get back. Yep. So of course,
cool.
Grab. Everyone's got Clobbering. Everyone's subbed to Clobbering Times.
Yeah, I doubt it. You don't have to sub. You can unsub if you want. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't blame you if you unsub.
Do not unsub. Clobbering Times.
I don't even sub. I don't even sub to me.
Yeah,
because you can't though. So
my mom subbed.
I was
to me
going to say, can you sub to your stuff?
Yeah, you can.
My sister subs to me.
Yep.
But she never watches it. She says she does.
You can check. Start typing in the chat to see if she's. Yeah, you can. Stealth see if anyone's there. Right. Put the letter in. Do start letter A. Go through the alphabet. See who's in the chat.
Can you do that even if they haven't commented?
Yes, yeah. You can see people in the chat if they haven't commented yet.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, but you got to know what their handle is. Yeah,
if you pull them up, if you tag them.
Yeah.
I'm not a worker, so I'm learning now how to be a good worker. I'm usually just driving if I can't be in the chat because I'm very vocal chat person.
Yep.
I'm annoying.
And thank you for that pop culture pub. Yeah, and also if you're in the if you're on the phone, you can't tag people too, which is frustrating. Yep. So, but and then Dadman, I'm posting. Let's post Ang's channel on Twitch.
Over on Twitch. Yes, thank you.
So follow Dadman's daughter Anguo. She's got a great channel.
And actually, she's going to
I
let
just
me
started
back on
watching
tomorrow
her.
night. She and her mom do Fortnite every other Monday, so they're having the three of us will be at 6 o'clock tomorrow night playing Fortnite, and
Nice.
so and hopefully more from there. And
Yep.
check her channel out; it's interesting. So, I appreciate it. Thank you, Mark, for your support.
Yep. So sub to her, and hey, Whoopa Troopa. We're just about to sign off. So go
Oh,
rewind, rewind,
Hey,
and
you know
watch
what?
the last.
What I just learned the other day
Mhm.
is apparently I have a YouTube channel. I didn't realize I had one, and I've
Yeah,
already got 2 subscribers. I'm like, what?
Well, I think if you just once you have sign up for YouTube, I think you don't have a channel per se, but people can sub to you. Is that the way it
That's
works?
fine.
or-
I mean, I expected 0, but I got 2. It's like, gee, okay.
So somebody may have been,
this true,
if
Mark?
they're a mod, they can click on the 3 dots and they can go directly to your channel, and then just sub from there. Sometimes people
Okay,
will
I
do
have
that
to check that out. That was kind of interesting.
just in
So-
case
Is
you're
this
going
true,
to
Mark?
post. Or,
Yeah, I
No,
did.
this.
I did.
oh yeah, I wanted to.
Oh yeah, we did that a while ago. Remember, we
Okay,
did that a
sorry, I
couple months
forgot.
ago. Yep.
Thank you, Joe.
Yep. And then yeah, so you go into YouTube Studio. So Jill, I don't know if you have. I think when you have 100 subs, you go into YouTube Studio and you do what's the command? It's one of your settings. You can create a custom URL, so it'll take your channel name.
It didn't work for me.
It
I
didn't work
messed
for
mine
you?
up. Yeah, I can't figure out how to change it now. I put it in the first time, but I didn't. I think I was trying to look at how it looked different ways because it's a long name.
It's a long one.
I
yeah.
didn't know if I was going to do Fellowship of Oddballs or just like maybe Oddballs or something, but now it something happened with I tried to put a parenthesis in there and it won't give me a real.
Probably doesn't like. Yeah, it doesn't like the parenthesis maybe.
So I just have a weird long thing because
Well, you can probably
I almost
change
have
it again.
300. I hope so. I was starting to read about it one night, but
Yeah, it's
I'll figure it
YouTube Studio. There's one of those.
Corey
settings.
boomered it. Thanks, Lupa. I do boomer everything. I have no technological skills whatsoever. None.
Yep.
That's
Thank
me.
I
you
talk
for pointing that
clobbering
out,
times through it.
young
Yep.
man.
All right, guys. Well, this has been an awesome night.
Absolutely.
That's what always happens. Sometimes I'm tired. I'm like, oh, do I want to go on YouTube tonight? And end up having an awesome time and hanging out with everyone. So
Mhm.
I'm going to put my overlay on, so hide us. I'm going to play the Blues Brothers to send us out. But yeah, we appreciate everyone being here. Good night, everyone, and catch you next Sunday, and hopefully during the week.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
everybody.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.